Hey, okay, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
There it is. So we're going to talk about...
I feel like we're like a little too... Okay, there we go. There we go. All right.
You know,
Spread out a little.
I'm having a nice hair day today.
What's that?
I just wanted to say that.
You having a nice hair day today?
I'm feeling pleased with myself.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about the Capcom Pro Tour 2018 being announced, some rules changes and points changes and that kind of thing. We'll get to that. We're going to talk about Blanka, who is now out and playable. Have you played him?
I just did. I ran down here. I thought I was going to be late because I was streaming and I lost track of time. So
good. Yeah. I was actually the late one due to traffic. That's how it goes.
Barely though.
But barely.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
Barely. I was. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Trying some stupid Blanka trials and trying some pinball combos.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I messed with him, but not combo wise.
Okay.
So we'll talk a little bit about it. Then not a whole lot else really to talk about. We're going to talk briefly about our experiences on DBFZ ongoing. Yeah,
both of us are continuing to play it a little bit more.
For sure.
And I've been watching a lot of it now as well.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Definitely. There's a sort of news and some results, and then that's probably not going to take up all the time. So we're probably going to end up taking questions from the chat and so forth.
Right, because that's always fun to do. We always do that
fun.
every once in a while anyway, and we usually end up with some fun questions.
For sure.
So,
okay, well, Capcom Pro Tour 2018.
Capcom Pro Tour.
It has been announced.
And does not fit in my topic window here.
CPT announced.
CPT announced. There we go. All right, what do you got on the details of the CPT here?
So it'll be 32 players again, right? The sort of generalities of it are the same.
They're the same, yes. There's going to be 4 regions.
Right.
Right.
So there's going to be the premieres, which will give global points. There will be the ranking events. There will be the regional finals in those 4 different regions. So sort of the broad structure of it, still very much the same.
Right.
But there are some changes to it. One is that the number of premieres a little bit different, right? Fewer tournaments are counted as premieres, and they're kind of, we'll talk about this, but geographically centralized.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You know.
I mean, I don't. Do you want to talk more before we get into?
Sure. And then the other big change is that the way that they did the points is different. So now the points that you get for doing well at a ranking event are considerably lower than they were before.
And premieres are much higher.
Premieres are higher.
Before.
So
and even Evo almost like first place almost got doubled in the number of points. Went from 1,000 to 1,750 for first place. So,
there you go. Yeah. Significant change. So first of all, let's talk about how they did the premieres. That's what we were about to jump into.
Right.
So the premieres are ones that you kind of think of, at least when it comes to the U.S., final round, starting things off as it has for the whole time.
Right.
Every year. NorCal Regionals coming up soon after that. Stunfest in France, Combo Breaker in Chicago, Illinois, U.S., Taiwan Fighter Major in Taiwan, CEO in the U.S., VS Fighting in the U.K., Esports Festival Hong Kong in Hong Kong, China Premier Event in China, DreamHack Montreal in Canada, SoCal Regionals in the U.S., Japan Premier at Tokyo Game Show, Japan. EGX is the EU's regional final, Southeast Asia Majors is Asia regional final, Canada Cup then is a premiere, then the Red Bull NA regional final, and Latin American regional final before Capcom Cup.
Yep.
So
definitely much more U.S.-centric than before, right?
There's no doubt about it. It's very U.S.-centric.
Yes.
It's not even a little bit.
Actually, we should say it as North American-centric.
It's NA.
Yes, North American-centric.
For sure. Because, of course, 2 of them are in Canada.
I mean, even if you discount, like we don't even need to talk about EVO, because people travel from all around the world to EVO, so that's fine.
It's its own thing.
But even if we discount EVO, it's still, like, super full of NA events.
And not just that it's full of NA events, but that the NA events are within some of the same regions. Like, there's both SoCal Regionals and NorCal Regionals. I'm living in California, but I can tell you, we don't need both of those to be premieres. We don't. You don't need both Canada Cup and DreamHack Montreal. Eastern Canada doesn't need 2.
Right.
And I'm not even sure whether it makes sense, considering how few other regions have, to have both final round and CEO to be premieres. Meanwhile, all of Europe has 2.
I thought they had 3.
there's also the EU regional final. So there's 3 if you want to count that. But before that, there is VS Fighting in Birmingham in the UK, and then there's
Stunfest earlier.
Stunfest in France.
That's it? I could have swore I saw another one.
And then EGX regional final in Birmingham again.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's only...
but that's... So those are the only 2 premieres on the entire megacontinent of Afro-Eurasia that are not on Eastern Asia. Like
Right.
the whole Western 3/4 of that thing is completely without a premiere. So you're not representing land. The land doesn't matter. But there are scenes in Southern Europe and Eastern Europe, and there are scenes in the Middle East, and I know there's a scene in India. We've met those dudes.
Right.
There's nothing.
How many total is there? Would you count that?
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 4 regional finals.
So 14 or 13, did you say?
Try it again. I don't remember
13.
either.
I think you said 13.
Okay, all right,
I think you
fair
said
enough,
13. Basically, I think that there's room for them to add more in the future. Like, just be like, all right, here's another one. Like, I almost kind of hope they do, because 2 in Europe sounds...
Yeah, it's pretty wild, I think. And it's... So, they're not coming up with these events. They're making established events
Right.
into premieres, right? They're sort of like promoting them, whatever.
Right.
So, they're not going to like create one in Bulgaria,
Right.
right? So, fine. But there are more big events than that in Europe. Like, there's ranking events, right? That could have been... There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are ranking events in Europe. That could have been one of them premieres. Latin America has no premieres. There's only the regional final. That's a big region, and there are, again, ranking events there that are established.
Right, there's more ranking events there than there are anywhere else, but regardless, ranking events just don't give you points compared to premier events. So even when you add up all those ranking events, they still don't quite... Like, someone actually did the math and said that the ranking events in Latin America are giving away like 2,000 some points, and then I think it was Europe was giving away like 3,000 something points, and then Asia was like just under 4,000, and US had like almost 4,500 or 5,000 points or something like that. Like like Latin America literally has half the number of points that they can give out that the US can give out.
Because it's only ranking events, and ranking events give way fewer points.
And this was not counting EVO or the online tournaments when the guy calculated it. So even the bloat that comes from EVO wasn't taken into account for the North America. So
Right. Yeah, I think that's a very strange choice. There were premieres there before, and of course the Capcom Cup champion is from Latin America, it's from the Dominican Republic, which has its own major, right? So, and there are a bunch. I mean, there's you can look at the list on CapcomProTour.com's site, and there are ranking events all over Central and South America and Caribbean. So there were lots of choices, and I think it's very surprising that there are no premieres.
Yeah, I mean, because last year they picked a bunch of them, right? But, there might have been like a little bit of an evaluation on their part, like this one didn't run well or nobody attended this one, and so they don't feel like the points were deserved or something like that. I wonder if there's any of that involved in there.
But like at a minimum, you and I both went to First Attack in Puerto Rico. It's great. Yeah. It was run well.
And you know what? First Attack, I feel like, has had at least a few years of success now that they could... obviously the attendance there is nothing crazy, but if you turned it into a premiere, obviously the attendance would be fantastic there because a lot more people would travel to it. And then on top of all of that, we already know it's run by people who can do a good job, and it might be cool to give them a shot. You know what I mean?
And it's the United States, so if you can travel to the U.S., which almost everybody can, you can travel there. There's no travel restrictions in the same way as other countries. I mean, I'm not in particular fighting for First Attack. It's just there should have been something in that giant region with many players.
Yeah, they removed DreamHack last year because remember DreamHack, you couldn't stay like too close to it. You had to like, wasn't that the one like DreamHack Sweden? You had to like stay in some random hotel somewhere and only like 7 people went or something like that.
Yeah, it was very few people. I remember there being some issue like one of the hotels in Jönköping closed down, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some small city anyway.
I mean, it's interesting because Curly W says he's like, how well an event is run has zero bearing on whether or not they become a premier. I mean, there's
it's not zero. I think that's overstating it, but I think I know what he's getting at, and it's true that despite some significant issues, some events still consistently get premier status.
Right.
So that is true for sure.
DreamHack Summer was the same weekend as CEO. I remember a bunch of people went there instead to try to get some easier points.
Yeah. So those are the big changes there. It's hard to justify, even if there are concerns about some events or whatever it is. And again, we don't know that they have concerns.
Yeah.
Trying to think about what the problem was. I don't know, and I'm surprised and sort of sad. I want as many regions to be represented as possible. I don't want it to be hard for MENA RD to qualify again.
Right.
And furthermore, I don't want it to be hard for somebody like Didymokov, who turned out to be super good and made a deep run at Capcom Cup. I don't want it to be even tougher for him. You know, I mean, he won the regional qualifier, but if there was more chance to travel to premieres, better chance to qualify for Capcom Cup.
Is there any verbiage in there that even hints that they could add stuff in the future, or no?
Not that I saw, but that's not to say that they won't do that. Right.
Because, I mean, for sure.
Well, it does say, below is a list of events currently confirmed for the 2018 season of the Capcom Pro Tour. We'll be updating the schedule with the remaining dates for ranking events, regional finals, and online ranking events. So it doesn't explicitly say more premieres, but it does say currently confirmed. So you can weasel in another, another tournament or two.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
Well, someone in the chat says that they did say more is coming.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
I mean, it could just be one of those situations where they're like, crap. Quick,
they done screwed up.
Yeah. Let's add some more. You never know, right? But here's the thing: even if that's the case, you can't be mad at them because then that's good. That means that they're like reacting to it.
That part is good. The initial decision is not.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you're right. If they do improve it, then that'd be nice.
Right. So if we can get some more, especially Latin America, but Europe only having 2 events is mind blowing because the Europe scene is super strong, right?
It is very strong.
Yeah.
I mean, Japan itself, I think, has 2, which is, for the strength of that scene, you may think more. There's, for example, Japan Cup, which was premier last year, is not this year.
Oh, really? It wasn't listed. It's not there, huh?
Let me double check on that, but I believe that is accurate. Yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because they have Japan premiere at Tokyo Game Show. That's kind of what it was. Because remember, Tokyo Game Show wasn't a premiere last year. It was Japan Cup.
Right.
So maybe Japan Cup at Tokyo, maybe the Japan premiere at Tokyo Game Show counts as Japan Cup.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not listed in the ranking events either.
Right.
So yeah, you may be right about that. But I feel like.
So Japan only has 1 premiere? So that's what the chat's saying.
1 premiere then? Okay, yeah, I guess I just kind of, you're right. 1 premiere.
Okay, so they still only have 1 premiere.
Yeah, 1 premiere. Singapore has 1. China and Hong Kong.
Is Taiwan made?
And Taiwan.
Taiwan is still there. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're spread. Korea doesn't have a major premiere?
No, but I don't think it has had one.
Yeah, it's never had one, but that's kind of a strange.
I don't think it even has. There's a ranking event, FighterZ Spirit in Seoul.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
April.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, TOs, it better step up. Like that's kind of that's not the case at all. I feel like, I mean, a few of those Latin America events you might want to just like try giving a shot to, or even just like, for example, like I went to Chile. I know Sejam and a bunch of the other guys went to Chile for Tekken and stuff. And that scene down there they've got a lot of good people there who I feel like could run a lot of things. At Festa Game, for example, they had, which is what I went to last year, which was super cool. So I would imagine that maybe they would try to maybe work with them or something. I don't know.
There is a Chilean ranking event. Never Give Up in September.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they've had that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, so. No, I mean, a bunch of countries have ranking events. Just, so the other change with the points situation, sort of these two things in combination, make it, I think, quite difficult to qualify unless you are traveling a lot.
Unless you are a pro who can travel. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Because obviously the bulk of the points got moved to the premier events now.
Yeah.
So you really do have to make it to the premier events.
You really got to get to the premier events, yeah. So for comparison, they list the points here in a very helpful graph. See this? So if you win a ranking event, you get 150 points, which is the same...
I thought it was 200. It's 150?
Yeah, 150 points for first place at a ranking event. Fourth place at a premier gets more than that, 160. So if you, and then that's first place for a ranking event. Second place is 70 points, so it's a huge drop off at a ranking event.
So 150 to 70.
Right, which is equivalent to getting 9th place at a premier or 33rd at Evo. So to get anything do anything other than win a ranking event it has very little role to play in whether you make it into Capcom Cup.
I'm almost starting to feel like that Nemo's strategy from last year is the better strategy. I mean, people asked him why he went, did that way. He was like, this is easier than qualifying through points.
Right, to get the last chance qualifier
at Capcom Cup. Was just go there and win that. He was like, this is easier than it was to travel around and get all the points. I mean, he might be right.
He might be right.
He might be right, in particular this year. Because the premier events are only going to get that much more of a bloodbath at this point in time, and so.
Right. No, I can see that. So you basically need to go to premieres, but as we said, the premieres are not very well geographically distributed. So people in North America have a big time advantage, right, compared to Europe and Latin America.
Yeah, traveling within the U.S. is no easy task, but compared to traveling from Latin America, from Europe, from Asia, it's like a whole different story, right? So
not even the same question.
And as other people have pointed out too, it's not even just travel expenses, but if you're traveling from East Coast to West Coast, like let's say we fly over there, okay, we get 2-3 hour jet lag problem. Oh, we gotta sleep and wake up early for commentary or whatever. But dude, you come from Europe and all these places, you're like, the jet lag is ridiculous at that point in time, and so it's going to be even that much harder for you to play it successfully at these events.
Even to go from Brazil to California is a big change in time too. So yeah, so I don't like it. I mean, clearly I'm complaining about a lot so far, but I don't like it for two big reasons. One is I don't like that it's kind of geographically favored the U.S. Even though I'm from here, that's not the point. I want more regions represented. And then the other is that I feel like it makes it so that players need to have a sponsor or need to have some way of paying for themselves to get around in a way that was not as necessary before.
Right. It's interesting because I understand that you might want to, like, if you've seen the ranking events results from last year and you're like, man, some of these people getting points at ranking events, do they really deserve it? There wasn't much competition.
I hear you.
There's that. But at the same time, I think that's the wrong attitude. I really think I would rather do that because the top players are going to get their points no matter what. And in fact, when someone took the point calculation, interesting enough, when someone took the point calculations with this and distributed it to last year, only 2 people changed. NL got in and Luffy fell out. That was the only difference. But
wasn't Sako who fell out?
I kind of remember, it was something like that. It was only just like 1 or 2 players changed, right? However, that's also on the fact that there was premieres in other places, right? True. So, necessarily applying it to the last year's might not work as well, right? So, I would rather have the ranking events award more points for less stronger players than to put all the points in premieres.
I agree with you.
Because that does give us the Didymokovs and stuff like that, and Didymokov turned out, he was right there. He almost beat He was one of the guys who almost beat Nemo, right? Or
I don't remember, to be honest. But I do remember
somebody,
he beat Kazunoko.
Yeah, he beat Kazunoko. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sad about that. I'm sad
too.
Yeah, or even if the ranking events were going to give less points, then don't have the drop-offs be so badly. Like, if you notice, the 7th and 5th place is the difference between 10 point and 1 point. I mean, honestly, what's the point of 1 point?
Yeah. It's like when
Terry.
Terry. He
the 1 year that Evo had the circuit and you got Evo points.
Yes.
He got 1 point at an event, and he was like the happiest guy.
Didn't he get it framed? I heard he got the certificate framed.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, 1 point's almost inconceivable that it really matters for you getting into Capcom Cup.
Like, it should have been 150, 100, 75, 50, something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, I believe, same as last year, the regional final the sort of top 8 regional players will play. And if somebody wins who's already in Capcom Cup, then there's no automatic qualifier for the second place regional person.
It's based off of the points.
It opens up another global spot instead.
Oh, is that what they said?
Isn't that how it was?
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if they changed that or not.
No, that's the same.
I mean, the change that they had was that last chance qualifier to get into the regional top 8, anybody can enter that now.
That's basically a premiere.
Right. But even if you're like, let's say Tokido comes to the North American finals and he wins it, he doesn't get to go into the top 8. They get the next guy and throw him in there. Correct. But they can just basically be in there to gatekeep, right?
And get money and points.
Right. But there's no points in those, right? There was never.
Are there no? I guess that's true. But
I think they got points just for ranking or something like that. I forgot how it worked exactly.
Whatever. Yeah. I just if my quarrel with this is that if the situation is going to be difficult for...
Yeah, so Starving Gamer mentioned it, so when a player... if the player who already qualified on the regional qualifier wins, then it's that regional points. The next highest player makes it in there.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, my issue with it is that if you're going to make it tougher for some regions to qualify, fewer premieres and or no premieres, then at least make it so that you guarantee one extra person coming from that region by getting second place at the regional finals.
Right.
So I would at least like that. I'm worried that there's going to be even fewer Latin American players, that there's going to be a bunch of Americans, that there are going to be fewer Europeans. I think that kind of sucks.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they want to let anybody enter the regional finals because they want to make them bigger events. You know what I mean? Have more people go to them. So, like, the Red Bull event has Tokido, and stuff like that. Or, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what the logic of letting anybody enter it outside of that. Making them bigger events because there's more, premier names and stuff. But what would be the point of a foreign player going there outside of winning the money?
This year, the regional finals will include an open tournament allowing a player from any region to compete for global leaderboard points, prizing, and regional leaderboard points for players in that region. So, global leaderboard points and prize money.
Okay.
So, I get why you would travel as the player. Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the news about Capcom Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I do think it's unfortunate, and I hope that they redo it to some extent.
Yeah, I hope.
That is my hope.
During the course of the year, they add events, because I don't think anybody would be mad about that.
How could you be?
Unless it was like, the event next week, because then you can't plan for it, right? But if it was like 4 months later, actually, we're going to add this event in here, or like, let's say in April or May, they're like, you know what, First Attack is going to become a premiere. And then we can just be like, okay, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Then people can plan for it and stuff like that, as long as they're given heads up for it.
Yeah.
But, because the one thing that's going to happen is if, let's say they do that, let's say they turn something into a premiere later on, people are going to find some reason to complain about that. But I think as long as they have enough of an advance notice, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing.
I agree with you.
Unless it's another U.S. tournament.
That would be bad news. Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't want to. I don't think there's any nefarious reason behind this. I don't think it's like Capcom's like, we have to protect North Americans or whatever. It's, come on.
No.
I'm sure that's not what's happening. But I do think that they could have done a much better job. So I hope that they do.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hopefully, things change during the course of the year. And again, I know that probably will speak to, quote, some people will probably be like, oh, quote, professionalism, unquote, like, oh, it's not good if you change it in the middle of the year and everything. Dude, we're all still grassroots. We're all still trying to figure this out. I don't think we need to be held to those kind of standards.
I think that's fine.
If people want to change it during the course of the year, I think that's fine. I think that's a good thing.
As long as it's nothing drastic, but adding a premiere, as you said, I'm sure nobody would complain about that.
That just means there's more points. It's like no one's going to get mad about that. So. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of people have talked about First Attack recently.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I think I've enjoyed it a lot.
It's a good event, for sure.
It's a good event, and not only is it a good event, but it's a good location. Because when you go there, you can spend extra time there. There's a lot of great stuff going on in Puerto Rico and stuff like that. And you know what, frankly, I mean, from everything that they went through last year, they could use a little, goodwill
that local
and stuff.
injection.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, so.
Yeah. Okay. Welp, is that it about that?
Sure. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here.
Hey, can I go whiz first?
So do you want to take a break?
Yeah, I really gotta pee. It took me way longer to drive here than I thought it would.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Huh, okay. Well, anyway, so Blanka, what's your...
No, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, cool. Guys, we'll be right back. So we can have a chance. So David,
you are dragging this out as long as you can.
David, well, we're going to talk about the guy above David's head, and what is it? Wait, it was Blanka, right? Yeah. Okay, he just came out. And, no, okay, go ahead.
Well, Blanka is now out and playable for Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. He has launched.
That's correct. He is out now, and he is playable. And did you get a chance to mess with him?
I did.
Okay.
I did try him out. I tried him out for about an hour, and I streamed, which I haven't done in probably 5 months.
Dude, it was crazy because
I don't know.
I streamed Blanka as well, and people were like, "Oh my God, David's also streaming. Which do I watch?" And I was like, "David is streaming."
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like a fun idea.
Yeah, for sure.
It had been a while for sure. So I investigated kind of normals and sort of like what his game plan I think might be.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this right now. That new frame data thing makes things so much easier.
Great.
There's definitely, I wish they had startup information.
Yes, for sure.
But it's easier to deduce with the pluses and the minuses that you get and the stuff. So, yeah.
You can figure things out. Stand medium kick is 8 frames, and, I definitely did figure it out. So he has a lot of frame advantage up close.
Only on lights, though.
His lights.
Yeah.
But they're all linkable, and they... It's like +3 on stand jab, which means you can frame trap.
Right.
So that's nice. He also has good anti-air from range, down strong,
I didn't
stand
try the
roundhouse.
Anti-airs. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they both seem good.
Down strong, huh? That's the one that kind of like slides
like an SF4 was good anti-air.
Okay.
And is again. And he has... It's not just the lights, it's also... Rainbow Ball is plus a lot. Yeah. Electricity is +2, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yes, on block.
On block.
+2, yeah. Dude, the Rainbow Ball, I found the perfect distance to get the heavy Rainbow Ball to hit at the last frame possible, and you can actually do standing heavy punch and combo afterwards.
It's +11.
Yeah.
I found the same setup.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's definitely all cool. And he has a real invincible EX wake up. EX up ball is invincible. EX parabolic ball, which I guess is called the Beast Roll.
The Beast Roll. I call it the Beast. That's what it was called in Super.
Was it? Okay.
When they first came out, it was like, now you have the Beast Roll.
Okay.
And so me and my friends used to always make fun of it because that move sucked, right?
Yes.
So the Beast Roll just became a joke. And it just became one of those things that, like, if we ever opened the Street Fighter themed restaurant, you know, you would drink Dragon Punch, but then the bread would be Beast Rolls. You know, like, you know, we were like,
you can see that.
You know, trying to come up with a bunch of stuff. So, unfortunately, like, those were literally the only two we could realistically come up with until El Fuerte. Now we have a whole Mexican restaurant. That's the theme of today, dude.
So Beast Roll, EX, very controllable as in SF4.
I looked at it, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, laugh cheese shenanigans.
Definitely. And you know, horizontal ball is the same as it always was. Jab version, whiff into grab, from round start, and jab. The jab version, I tried punishing with a bunch of characters, and it is safer than I expected. For example, Dalsum can punish with stand strong, but not out of the air. He hits Blanka when Blanka's already grounded, which means that Blanka doesn't get like tossed way backwards, reset out of the air.
I see what you're saying. Right? Oh, so you're actually thinking it's kind of better.
It's better than I thought it would be.
Because, I mean, some characters, like Bison, Scissor Kick, I'm sure, and stuff like that will punish it.
I didn't test. I'm sure EX does, but I don't know about the rest because it really does recover faster than you think.
The Light Punch one? Or the
Light Punch one.
Yeah, because the Light Punch one puts you at a further distance, but I think it was still more negative.
It's minus 19, but because you're at half screen, it takes some frames to get over there.
Right, yeah. Was it minus 19?
Yeah, minus 19.
I couldn't ever get it. Okay.
The reason the way I figured it out is that the opponent says that they are plus 19.
When
they
I see. I was looking at the wrong one then. Okay. Skargust says that Akuma can't punish it unless it's super.
Yeah,
that's it.
I found the same thing. I found that with Ryu to be the same way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, the light Blanka ball then is a good way to poke, but I kind of like this because this is kind of how I wanted it in a long time ago if I had to balance like ST kind of thing, which was to make the light Blanka, because the light Blanka ball also doesn't combo off of light buttons, right? It's not a combo. You can't do light ball, you can't do jab into light ball unless you're like point blank, I think.
Okay.
But it bounces so far away and it's so negative that you have all the time in the world to set something up on him, but you can't necessarily kill him for it.
Most characters get a free dash.
Right, exactly. Right, and I like that. I like that. I think that works okay.
Abigail can sweep it? Dang. That's funny.
Of course Abigail can sweep it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so with all these tools, I feel like I like him in some respect because I think that he can play from farther away. Mm-hmm. He has, obviously, strength up close, pressure up close advantage. But part of the way he gets that going is with Rainbow Ball from farther away.
Right.
So he sort of needs to be at that range where that can happen. And he's also at a range there where if they walk up slightly, he can do jab ball and be mostly safe afterward. Mm-hmm. He can poke with slide or get under projectiles really easily with slide. Mm-hmm. You can start off EX Rainbow Ball stuff. And if you have the opponent frozen there, then you can do command grab, EX command grab.
Right.
Regular command grab I think is a pile of crap, but EX command grab I think is good. So I think he has bad footsies, but the rest of his game I like.
It was interesting because, well, one thing I will say is they messed up on some of his animations, right? So the crouch heavy punch, I don't know what the hell happened to that. And also the jump heavy punch makes me super sad because he does jump heavy punch and he goes, "Rrr," and his arms stay at that like diagonal 45-degree angle. They don't go between his legs like he used to because he used to sweep and like it was a really nice sweeping motion. But now he just kind of goes, "Rrr,"
oh, I didn't even look.
And he freezes there, and I was like, what happened? Yeah. But you know. To be honest, though, a lot of his other animations are good. Someone said that they pointed out in your stream that he had post-animations.
Yeah, he does.
He has a post-animation for every normal move. Every normal move had a different one. So if you jab, he shakes his head. If you light kick, he shakes his head at a different angle. If you hit like standing strong, he like does this. On another one, he like pounds the floor a little. Like every normal move, he had an ending animation. I was like, this is the most
very cool.
And they were good too. So like, I have mixed feelings about his animations. You know what I mean?
Can see that.
So,
yeah, sure.
But like, it was crazy. I was like, whoa, he has. Like I thought they repeated the one where he shook his head, but like they were two different angles.
Wow,
it was like the craziest thing. But the funny thing is, like all of his heavy buttons are crush counters, all 4 of them, And I actually think that that's kind of messed up. I actually feel like that nerfed him a little bit because off of heavy kick, you can only combo into the super because it knocks him really far away. Crouching heavy punch, you can only combo into super, right? And his standing heavy kick is +3 on hit. He has no 3-frame normals, right? So if it didn't crush counter, he could frame trap with it and get a +5 and combo off of it. But now he crush counters you and he gets nothing.
Interesting.
So like his frame traps game isn't particularly strong. He doesn't have that cool heavy punch, bow, and then he gets big old combo afterwards. So.
I also found that the best regular frame trap, like light attack into medium or heavy, was stand short into crouching strong, which is a real frame trap against 3-frame buttons.
Right. Which one?
Stand.
Oh yeah, stand short and crouching strong. Yes, yeah, you're right.
However, crouching strong doesn't link into anything after that. So like you got to cancel it, or I don't know, you do electricity maybe to be safe just in case.
Right. You know, yeah.
But it's not great.
Crouching medium kick actually links into crouching medium kick on counter hit.
Yeah.
So standing light kick and crouching medium kick will be 4-frame characters.
4-framers.
But it's actually not too bad. Like you can do electricity, take a step, low forward. You're in range to actually get that into ball. Okay. So you can actually do that. So I think that's interesting because every other character, like their medium button link is standing strong, right? Yeah. Every character is standing strong or something. But Blanka's is crouching medium kick because he can do crouching medium kick, stand light punch at any range. Yeah. But like, it's a low hit. Like it's weird that they made it a low hitting move.
It's been like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but I don't know. It's just really interesting because Street Fighter V usually...
Yeah, it's rare in Street Fighter V.
Street Fighter V, they kind of shoehorned everything into a role, so it's actually kind of nice that it differs a little bit with him. So.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, another weird thing I found out, he has Chun-Li thing where crouching light kick can be canceled into electricity, but nothing else.
I found the same thing.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah. It was so weird.
So I think he has all right pressure. His normal throw, I don't know if you tested, is terrible range.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Sucks. The only button that you can press at point blank and still be in range for grab is stand short, which is the button you're pressing anyway, I guess, but like even jab pushes you too far.
Right, okay.
You have to walk up afterwards, so it's pretty bad throw range. But since he is plus on block a lot, I feel like he should still be able to get grabs.
Close range, he's just going to be light all day. He's not going to have like Laura medium kick or Akuma medium kick or strong and stuff like that. He's not going to have the strong button pressure that a lot of the characters have. Like I was even surprised that the knee was only like +2 on hit. Yeah. Although the knee does on block, that's right. On hit, it actually is like Fang and it keeps the counter hit property on the second one. Yeah. But not the headbutt. The headbutt doesn't do that.
It's really easy to hit confirm stand medium kick into the target combo.
Oh yeah.
Super.
I didn't even try.
It's impossible to screw it up.
Okay, so you can just be like medium kick. Oh, heavy kick.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually somebody pointed out in my stream that his stand fierce is pretty hit confirmable. I can't do it consistently, but a good player would be able to do it consistently.
K-Brad would be able to do it.
Definitely right. Yeah. So he does have some hit confirms. His command grab, I feel like the two uses for it are that it's projectile, EX is projectile invincible. Okay. So from out of the blue, EX, right? And it's pretty fast. But then I also think that there's a role for it in up close pressure. For example, I had Ryu do reversal stand jab. On blocking, and the grab actually gets around it.
Right, because it goes over it.
It goes over it, Not at point blank range, but from just outside of point blank, you can do grab, and he'll land just after the jab ends.
So in other words, like if a Cammy has a reaction to crouching medium punch you after blocking something, you could cancel into it, and you'd be like, whoops!
Exactly.
You know? I also did notice that the Fierce one and the EX one, if you control it, they're just shy of full screen. So you can grab a Hadouken from a screen away if they just forget. For sure. Right? So
for sure. Yeah. So I definitely think he has some tools. Oh, V triggers. Did you look into them much? I only briefly did.
I did. V trigger. They're both okay. So my general opinion of Blanka right now is that I'm not sure how good he's going to be because he's missing a lot of tools that other characters have that are very Street Fighter 5-y. Right. He's missing a lot of those tools. However, his V triggers are fun.
Okay.
Like, his V triggers are entertaining, and I was surprised at how nice they were with V-Trigger 1, for example. Because V-Trigger 1, you have enough time to do 3 different moves, including the ground shave roll. Like, I thought ground shave roll was going to be like Shinryuken. If you charged it and held it, you would use up the whole thing.
I didn't even look into that. What, press Fierce Roundhouse?
And Fierce Roundhouse, and he gets a move that combos off of jabs that he doesn't need to charge for.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't even look.
Yeah, so you go boom, you charge it up, and then you can hit him 4 times if you hold it long enough, and then you can just combo right into super if you have it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's kind of nice, but it charges up every single one of his special moves. So the electricity gets slower. Startup, so you can't combo it off of like crouching jab. Stand jab into electricity works, but he steps forward into it, so it gets better range. And not only that, but you can combo off of it now. So literally, you can activate V-Trigger, walk up, do fierce into boom electricity into horizontal ball into up ball, and that will
can you really?
And at no meter cost. At no meter, because all of
it's all V meter.
Yeah, because all of his special moves become the EX version when you activate V-Trigger 1, except for Rainbow Ball now knocks down. So the EX one doesn't knock down normally, but the V-Trigger one will knock down. Okay. But it's interesting. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. They let him kind of freestyle a little bit. Yeah. So honestly, I think V-Trigger 1 is going to be better.
Okay.
Because V-Trigger 2 is kind of like gimmicky and more like combo extension-y, but I don't know. Maybe people are going to find some cool things, but V-Trigger 2 is the pinball one and you can't just do it out of nowhere. You can only do it off of a move if it hits.
It's horizontal and up ball, right? Is it also Rainbow Ball that you can do it out of? I don't know if I tested.
I didn't try. Yeah, I didn't try. But yeah, even if you whiff, you can't do it. Right. So if you up ball and you can't do it. Oh, it's interesting. The up ball goes in 3 different, very distinct angles.
Yeah, it does. I noticed that too. Yeah, that's funky. But you can do it on block. So I tested, and you can do EX.
Oh, on block you can. Okay.
EX up ball into like air backdash ball.
Right.
So you can be hit as you're like hanging out there, which is crush counter state, but you're not going to like land and then get crush counter.
Right.
So if the opponent has a crush counter that needs the opponent to be on the ground, then you can kind of get out of that situation as Blanka, which I guess is all right. And if you do horizontal ball into...
so Lalilulilo says you can actually do it off of Rainbow Ball and on block. So yeah.
Okay. That last hit itself seemed safe. So you can continue movement.
Okay.
Horizontal ball into that or whatever.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it will be a lot more useful than I think it is. So, but I was just I've found combos where you can hit twice with it, land, and then super. The reason why I ended up late down here is because I was trying to find a combo with 3 hits of the ball into super. I could not get it, and I wasn't sure if it was because the timing was too late or if it uses up the juggle, and I really needed to prove it, and I couldn't find a setup for it, and it made me mad.
Yeah.
So even the trial number 10 makes you do it 3 times, but the 3rd one is just to land faster, and it doesn't hit.
Dang, really? Okay.
Yeah, so you go boom, boom, and then just go straight down, land, and then you can super them. Oh, but I wanted to see if I could get 3 hits into it, and
Negative.
So bad.
Yes, he definitely still has the slide to go under fireballs, and it's super easy.
Does it go under all of them, too? Probably.
Who would I test? I mean, it definitely goes under all, like, mid-projectiles, for sure.
Okay, cool.
I guess there's no Sagat yet, so we'll see about that low tiger shot. But regular ones, all.
Yeah, he also still has the hops.
So the hop, and he has cow crouch, which is now the V skill.
Yeah.
Right. So V skill, out of that you either do hop back or forward, or you do the punch, which is a launch.
Oh, you can hop out of the coward crouch.
You can hop.
Huh? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't actually notice that.
And as you say, there's a launch out of it, and you can do a command hop forward, command jump forward, which seemed like a better jump arc to me. It seemed a little faster.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely faster. Yeah. Although you can't control the distance with the button press or by holding a joystick, because I was trying to do like low forward into coward crouch into hop to try to cross up. Dude, you have to be at like clip them with the nails of your crouching medium kick to be at the right range. Otherwise, you jump over them all the time. So, didn't seem like there was, maybe off of standing heavy punch you'll have to do it, but...
I have seen some air resets where you do cow crouch, launch, then like stand fierce or strong or something into cow crouch into command jump, and as they're sort of falling, then you get to cross the out situation.
Okay,
so,
that's cool.
So that will be in there. But I tried, for example, like fierce cow crouch hop to see like, can I press fierce and then I'm out of here?
Right, yeah.
Definitely not real.
Okay.
Definitely not real.
Right.
For sure.
And yes, Stickman, the hop still does go through opponents. You can pass through them. Yeah. So they're still different. They're still definitely there.
So, like I said, I didn't look into combos that much. Did you look into them other than V-trigger?
Yeah. There's actually like EX straight ball leads into EX up ball at any time. And it's good damage. Like I just did jump fierce, stand fierce, EX horizontal ball, EX up ball. That was like 400 some damage or something like that. And it was like 500 stun or something like that. So if you've got 2 meters and you're willing to spend it, that did a crap ton of damage. Yeah. Although it's weird because the EX up ball, I don't even want to get into the details of it, but you have to do it as late as possible. Like if you do it in the corner, you stop fast enough that you can up ball really early. And if you do it too early, like the first hit is the only one that juggles, and so the second one gets up there and it just passes through them. So if you do it too early, it passes through them, and you have to wait till they fall as low as possible. Okay. It's weird. But in any case, the character, I mean, I feel like most of actually the Rainbow Ball always led to a crouching medium kick as well. Yeah. Yeah, which is really good. But for the most part, it seems like most of his damage is just going to come from EX straight ball and the EX up ball. The worst part about it is if you don't spend the second meter, I don't think there's anything you can juggle with. So
can you do slide? I know you can do EX electricity into slide.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't think you have enough time, and it lands you right next to them.
At EX horizontal.
After that, they basically fall right on top of you. And so I don't think the slide's going to get him. You basically only have enough time to do the EX up ball. Okay. Unless you're in the corner, like I said, then you could do it too early and it misses, which is weird. So
well, okay. Overall thoughts?
I don't like Blanka in general. Yeah. Right? As a character, I don't like him. Yeah. I was actually kind of sad that they didn't change him as much as I thought they were going to. Like, I was hoping for a Dhalsim Zangief kind of rehash, right? I've actually been kind of sad that Sakura and Blanka have felt very Blanka and Sakura.
Especially Sakura.
Yeah, like, I don't feel like they changed as much as I would have liked to have. I was not happy when Blanka was announced for this season. Yeah. Regardless, I don't think I hate him right now. Yeah. Like, I think he's more interesting than I thought he was going to be. Like I said, his V-triggers look kind of fun, and that Blanka costume is like, is joy.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a fun, interesting character. I like that. I think he can play from a different range than many SF5 characters like to play from. So I like that about him. And I like that they gave him a command grab, even if it's kind of a janky hop one. I think that's cool. I like that they finally made Rainbow Ball useful.
Dude, what took them so long?
It's never been good ever.
Right. I wish whoever came up with the new Rainbow Ball did something to the spin knuckle.
Yeah. Well, you can't win them all. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah. I wasn't like sad when he was announced, but I wasn't looking forward to him. Right. And then once they started showing what he can actually do on the streams last week, I began to be interested. And now I think I'm going to try him out for a little while.
There's definitely a lot of people who have been very, very happy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he definitely has some fans. One person in chat who just subbed to my stream, and so now that I've said I don't like Blanka, he's probably going to take that back too.
Should. Bummer.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, but honestly, though, I'm surprised because I don't think he's going to be as, like, I don't think his design is going to be as busted as it has been in previous games. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's going to be ST or CVS1 or CVS2.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, in CVS2, in CVS, he had excellent normals. He was a sick footsies character. Right? God. Super strong. Even on top of ball and short hop and whatever else he had going on for himself, damage. he's not that same guy anymore. He's not a footsies character, so he has to be either right up close or further away than that, which I think is more interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely potential for him to be high tier. I would say.
Yeah.
I would say. Although,
I have no idea.
Do you know if the patch changes came out with this update as well?
I don't.
I don't think it, because I looked at the page, like there was a link to, like, on server to see what the changes were, and they only listed Blanka.
Okay.
So I don't know if they have the like the Abigail changes yet and stuff. So, okay.
Yeah. No, there are already plenty of characters that play from that footsies and in range. The thing I like about him is that he plays in, which almost everybody in SF5 does, fine. But he then plays from further away than footsies.
Yes.
So I like that he has kind of a hole, and then he's good again. So that's cool. Okay. All right.
You want to take a quick break or keep going and just talking about Dragon Ball?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do Dragon Ball, and then we'll take a break.
Let's do it. Right. So we've been still playing a lot of Dragon Ball. It's been out for most of a month now.
Yeah. Last week, however, I had not had a chance to play it against people.
But you were traveling a lot. Yeah, that's right.
I was traveling a lot, and I had just done training mode, and I never had a chance to play it against people. So I finally did get a chance to play it against people and stuff. But you've been playing it.
I have been.
More, right? So, what do you think? So, like, how
I like the game a lot, man.
Yeah, because I remember you said that last week you were talking about that you felt like you were really bad at the game, but Nerd Josh was saying everybody is bad at the game, right? So
that's true.
How do you feel now?
Definitely bad, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe less bad.
Okay.
I feel that I have gotten better at understanding what other characters' options are. As few special moves as there are, like I feel like there's a lot to it. So, and on top of that, what are like the slight variations between Goku and the other 8 Gokus?
Yeah.
I mean, I've picked up on that stuff now.
Right.
So I feel like I am getting better at it.
Okay.
And it's really fun. I really like some of the ideas in there.
Yeah. My favorite thing about it so far is that it's so different than everything else.
It is.
It doesn't feel like, oh, it's an Arxis game, so it's playing like Guilty Gear, or it's Team, so it's playing like It actually feels very, very different than everything that's come before it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it has that kind of new personality to it.
For sure.
And look, I know a lot of people have been complaining about the online and have been hating on the online. Dude, I had a decent experience.
Okay.
I don't know, but the thing about
Did you play ranked or casual?
I play ranked, yeah. And the funny thing is, I've had a decent experience in all the games, and that might just be because I have really good internet. I have FiOS, right? So I have like really fast internet. Yeah. But to be fair, like my Tekken experience has been like probably the worst out of all the games,
Okay.
And so. But everything else, like even Street Fighter V, which everyone says is terrible, I usually have a decent experience with. So I don't know if it's just because we're in California and Los Angeles and there's a lot of people, or I don't know what the situation is. But my experience with the online wasn't that bad.
I've found that the frame lag counter cannot be trusted. At the top of the screen it says 2-frame delay. Not accurate for sure. But typically matches are good.
Yeah.
The problem for me is that sometimes it takes quite a while to find a match. So I'll be waiting in ranked or casual or whatever for a long time.
Yeah.
And I haven't even tried to do a ring match.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah.
I haven't, but from all accounts, it's a terrible process.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah, to get it to like arrange something.
Okay.
In fact, it's bad enough that the Stream.me folks are going to do a tournament series every week for Dragon Ball that I'm going to commentate on, but they can't do it yet because to actually arrange a match between two players is too inconsistent.
Right.
There are too many hoops to jump through, and they had 200 plus people signed up for the tournament. So to make that run is they're going to do it whenever that gets fixed, but it hasn't been fixed.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
that side I think is a bummer and in need of development, but the game itself, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so, I mean, here's a couple things. One thing I will say about online is that 3 frames of lag in this game makes a huge difference. Because when I see someone do a super dash, the little homing thing, like I practice in training mode, you can hit down H, 2H super late and still counter it. But then in the training mode, I upped it to 3 frames of lag, and then I did it, and there are like 1 or 2 frames that before the 2H starts that you can get counter hit by the super dash. And I just got hit like every single time in training mode. It wasn't even like block, like that's how late it was. Like it was just enough lag to make it perfect that you would hit the button to get counter hit at that time every single time. Because I was playing online and I was waiting for people to do it. And I was like, here's my 2H, and I'd get hit, and I'm like, why is this not working? And I just get so mad. And then it turns out that that's a problem in there. But what I've noticed about the game is that the game is... I like the game a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to say this right now. I like the game a lot. I think that the high levels is going to be really fun. And I also think that once you get good at the game, you know, scrub mashing, whatever, all that stuff is not going to be a problem, right?
Sure.
However, the initial basic tactics are still more powerful in this game than I think in any other fighting game.
Maybe.
That to get past that initial hurdle is going to be a little bit harder. You're going to fight people who are just looking like they're not doing anything, and they're going to beat you when you first learn this game, right? Yeah, and it's happened to me too. Because the one guy literally just did Dragon Rush. I kept getting hit by it, and then he would land into the throw, and I got hit by it every time. And he did it like 9 times in a row, and I got hit by it every single time. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, it's going to be easy to get discouraged. And the problem with fighting games is that it's already easy to get discouraged when you play a fighting game. And in Dragon Ball, I feel like if you're the kind of player like, I'm not going to mash, I'm going to try to play, and then you're just going to lose to these people, it's just going to be infuriating, and you're going to want to quit. My advice is don't, because you will get to the point where you can, like, as I played, I started understanding it more. I started beating people more that were doing stuff like that, and it's possible. So, like, I don't want people to sit there and think that the game is scrub-friendly or mashing-friendly. It is effective at a low level, but once you get used to the game and once you start expecting the beats of the opponents, you can get through it. Because, like, the one thing that I could never handle was someone flying above my head and then doing a super dash. Yeah. Because that doesn't happen in any other fighting. That angle...
Yeah, there's like a weird cross.
...doesn't exist in any other fighting game except this one. Or like when I see them Dragon Rush and I super jump, I'm like, I'll just make it miss. And then it still tracks
you. You mean super dash?
Yeah, the super dash, yeah. Like, all those weird things, like, at first feel like this is silly. But then once you figure out those beats and those patterns, you'll start to be able to fight everything.
I really like that they made some of that initial stuff strong, because it's a game that I think caters very well to both, you know, established FGC players and also newbies, which I think is great. It's like a really good mix of those two. But I like those mechanics. Like, I think it's interesting to have a game where you're just next to the opponent from anywhere for a bar. You're just, hey, what up, buddy?
And actually, to be honest,
I think that's interesting.
I'm really happy that the way the vanish mechanic works, because a lot of times when you get hit by it, if it's not in a combo, it doesn't do anything.
Right, yeah.
It's not like you get hit by that and then you eat this big old combo.
Yeah.
Just get launched across the screen, and it's like...
Typically, yeah. But I would say that I think part of the way that I've learned to deal with the randomness is to get going. Like, I'm not like waiting for people to do my 2H. Counter your super dash. I'm the one super dashing already. I'm already making it happen. So it's, plus I have a character in Android 16.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm just rushing at you. You know, I just have options. Right. I got buttons that reach from round start position, and I basically am air dashing Hulk with armor and
this thing is so good, dude.
Super strong character. So that for sure has helped me. Figure things out a little bit, but I'm also at the same time still working on Frieza as a zoning character, which I'm getting my butt kicked for. But I feel like there's going to be some payoff for that in the end.
Yeah, so. I mean, when I played it, it was interesting because it was my first time playing. So obviously, I was at the scrub levels playing with a bunch of other people who were like, I played a bunch of people who it was like their first game or their second game, you know, and stuff like that. I would say I won about like 2/3 of my games and everything like that. So I was like, okay, I'm doing pretty good here, but. There was one fight where I don't know if the guy was just smurfing or if I didn't see that I got paired up with someone who's super good, but I fought someone who obviously knew what they were doing with Android 18, and I just never left the corner, and I just died.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I definitely have a long way to go.
For sure, dude. Yeah.
But
I've gotten some beatdowns where I'm like happy to take it. Where I'm wow, okay, pretty sick that you can do that with the character. I had no idea until right now. Yeah, we're still at that stage of the game, so
yeah,
it is a lot of fun. Now, you also mentioned that you're not just playing it; you're starting to watch it more.
Yes, So I watched a lot of the footage. Like I watched a lot of Tatsu. I saw Tatsu playing in a tournament, and then I just saw the one that was this past weekend where Chris G won that one in Long Beach. Yeah, so I watched the grand finals of that match, and yeah, there's some sick stuff happening in there. Although there was definitely a lot of times too. There's one time something happened, and Wonder Chef's like, I have no idea what's going on, and I was watching it. I was like, no idea what's going on. There's explosions everywhere.
Yeah, we'll get used to that stuff.
Yeah. But
I remember thinking the same in Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite, and you get used to it.
But I really do like the way the game looks right now at a high level.
The gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay. I really, really like it, and I think there's a lot of potential for this game to have that kind of really exciting high level play, and it's fun to watch, and it's got that presentation factor. Yeah. So
I think the thing that I like the most about it right now is that there's clearly enough depth that different characters can be played well differently.
Yes.
So you see, Hit is a fairly common character because he's strong and fun, but everybody's doing different stuff with Hit. Like some people are just pressing auto combo, and his buttons are basically teleports, right? So people are just mashing on that and pressuring in that way, and occasionally there's a command grab.
Right.
Some people are doing the cross-up stuff a lot. Some people are basically sniping from full screen with circle forward B into little guy up there.
Okay.
The little projectile he throws out that homes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Wesker Gunshot, but it homes, right? So people are playing them quite differently, which I think is great to see.
Cool.
And I really enjoy seeing style differences, like at that dropkick event stuff, where Tatsu is going like 20 seconds without pressing a button as Nappa, because he's just waiting for a chance to get his set play going. But Nappa doesn't have like the best active buttons, so he's just waiting it out. But he's playing with assists, like in Marvel 3, right? Or Marvel 2, I guess. Whatever. Which works. And at the same time, other people are like super dashing, jumping constantly, moving in the air. They're never on the ground. And some people like Hit are on the ground. There's a lot of variety in it. Again, even though there are not that many special moves, and there are a few characters who have really similar options, there's still a ton of variety in the game, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Can't wait to see this game keep developing, and I can't wait to see some tournaments starting up for this, like at some major events. So I know like Final Round's coming up. I'm super excited to see how the game is going to look at Final Round, for example.
For sure.
I really want to see how the high level plays out in this game and how the character strategies are coming out. Cause I don't know if like Don, Yohozi has been like posting up some like dirty ass Go Tank stuff.
Right.
Like this, like it's just basically snapback mix up the game, right?
Yeah,
it's like guess, it leads into snapback, and there's just some interesting things. But what's cool about it is that in a game that I was afraid that every character would play too similarly, that has not been the case at all.
Yeah, so. I'm very happy as well. And it's in the stage of the game right now where nobody knows everybody's tricks, right? So when it comes to people meeting up, everybody gets hit by something that they haven't seen before, because we're still early enough that is possible. It's a very fun time in a game.
Sencal Standoff this coming weekend is going to have Dragon Ball as well.
Sure will.
So we're going to get to see some action over there.
Yeah,
too.
dude.
I'm kind of excited about that too, to see a lot of the West Coast guys. And of course, on the East Coast will be Winter Brawl, so we're going to see both sides of the coasts doing this, and I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
I'm very curious to see who does well in this game. Chris G, you could bet on it, right?
Sonic Fox, those are the
Kizzy K was up there at that event. Tatsu, like they're just talented guys in many games. Sonic Fox is a great person to point out too, obviously. Goichi in Japan looks like he's killing it.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't noticed it. Oh, I haven't noticed. Dude. Okay.
So I'm really excited to see like which player comes out on top at various events.
Dude, someone in the stream said, because we said that doesn't play like anybody else, but everybody's playing it, which scene do we feel like? Like, I was even watching Leffen play the game on stream like yesterday and everything. And I just have to defer to Sonic Fox. I loved what Sonic Fox said about it. He was just like, man, I forgot which scene he was talking about. He was like the anime scene has no neutral. He was like, the anime scene is new neutral. They have the most amazing set play. but the Marvel scene has good neutral, but their set play is ass, you know, and like he was kind of like there's definitely strengths between the different scenes, and it's going to be really fun to see how they clash against each other, you know. And obviously there are those guys who do transcend the scenes, like Chris G, like Sonic Fox, you know, those
Goichi
guys.
too.
Yeah, like Goichi, but it'll be really interesting to see which scene produces the strongest players.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I hope it's somebody totally out of nowhere. It's probably not, but that's what I want.
At that Wednesday night fights, remember Nakil showed up and everything, and all those guys were there. But
that was a super strong tournament. That Wednesday night fights.
It was a ridiculous tournament. But winners finals was Super Noon and Iron God, the Marvel players, like 2 younger Marvel players. Tatsu eventually won it, but like Iron God sent Nakil the losers. Yeah, like I was just like, okay,
very interesting.
There you go.
There's a lot to be figured out in it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the game. So I wanted to play it some more, but I really wanted to test out Blanka today.
Yeah, today Blanka, sure.
But God, I also want to play some more Tekken, and I want to play some Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, I haven't even bought it, but I've been playing a buttload of Turtles in the old Injustice. Cool. I'm convinced Leo's the best one, so I'm basically not going to play him anymore. Right. Because I'm just being super boring with him.
Because
no mix-ups, just maximum boring. So now I'm going to play Donatello, who I thought at first might be the second best turtle, but now having played a lot more, I think he might be the worst turtle.
Really?
Yeah, I think he might be I feel like I underrated Mikey and Raph. So,
interesting. Okay.
Mikey might be the second best.
Interesting. Okay.
They have very interesting ideas. They're all really interesting characters. Even Leo, who's the boring one canonically, is really interesting. Even if you like Leo, he's the boring one. Like that's his. You like him because he's the boring one.
No, I like him because he's the leader, dude.
That's because he's the boring one.
That's why is leader being a boring? Why is leader?
He doesn't have the interesting personality. He's the personality that like keeps people together.
I think all the other personalities, except for Donatello, but I think the other personalities are boring because they're so corny.
You might not like them. I don't like Raphs, but like it's interesting.
Is it interesting? So. Yes. Is it? I don't know, dude. I don't consider it interesting, dude.
Whatever.
I don't consider it interesting.
It's true.
Yes, Leo doesn't because he uses swords.
I usually don't like swords. I think they're because they're so cliched. That's what I don't like about it. But anyway, been playing a lot of that.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to play many games recently. But like I said, this is because a lot of, like yesterday, I spent the entire day trying to catch up on all the videos. So again, I apologize to everybody for being so late getting everything up on YouTube, but I'll be getting them all up a little bit faster again. So
sweet. Well, anything else to talk about here? Do we have any FGC news?
I mean, we can take a break. I'll pull up some stuff, but is there any final thoughts on Dragon Ball or anything like that?
Ooh, they just announced Broly and Bardock.
Bardock, yeah.
Besides the name I read recently.
Isn't he the one that like was in the FGC but now is like totally esports now?
Oh,
sorry, that's Bardolph. That's Bardolph.
I get it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. There is, though, just released like an hour ago, some brief descriptions of what Broly and Bardock was as the website calls him. I don't know. Everybody else says Bardock. I have no idea.
Was that pictures of them just there?
Yeah. There's like what they look like. That's Broly.
Okay.
He's very large. And then there's Bardock. I don't know. Whatever. Why does he look exactly like Goku? We'll never know.
That's basically all I was thinking.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Anyway,
Broly character description as translated by Great Fern Man, who's been retweeted by everybody. A power character who wields dreadful power. Because he's so large, his attacks have long reach! ! He has multiple unyielding moves. Maybe armor.
Okay.
So he's like a bigger ranged Android 16 with more armor?
I guess he's Goku's dad, according to everybody here. Okay. So there you go. At least there's a canon reason why he looks just like... Anyways, continue.
Thank you. And then Bardock character description. A rushdown character who possesses both power and speed. Get into range for his excellent close-ranged game with his strong rushing move. So that sounds like everybody. But Broly, a power character, large, long reach, all armored moves. Hey.
Yeah, I know. That sounds like a perfect David character.
Sounds like a character I might want to play.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
That's right. I gotta remember. Someone pointed out to me that that Yamcha can do air dash combos, instant air dash combos. You can juggle someone with medium punch into instant air dash, and I can do that, but I don't get anything off of it. So I need to find that combo that someone linked me again to see what I'm supposed to do off of that. But in any case.
So, break time?
Yes, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll do some FGTC news, and, if we have time, we'll take some questions. So, okay, be right back, guys.
Okay, welcome back to the Tuesday show. Let's talk now about fighting game news.
Yeah, there's not much fighting game news to talk about right now, so if you do, so we're going to do a Q&A session. So if you have some questions that you want to ask us, just tweet at us at the UltraChen TV Twitter, and we'll get them up on the screen, and we'll talk about them in just a bit. But before we do that, here's some news. Probably the big news was last week, ArcSys did announce a bunch of stuff about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. They showed us a couple of new characters, and then they also gave us the pricing for it. So it's going to be a $50 game. Individual DLC packs, which there are going to be 6 total, is $5 each. Okay. So that's an extra $30, right? So that'd be $80 total. However, you can buy the complete DLC bundle for $20 all at once. So basically season pass, right? Season pass. So that would technically make it $70 total, right? But there's also, the deluxe digital edition, the game, and it's the game and all the DLC is $70. So
there you go.
And the first DLC pack will have Platinum, Orie, and Kanji, and that one is going to be free. And then Blake and Yang will be added from the Ruby franchise for free as well. So
your favorite characters?
Sure, but the release date is still going to be May 31st for the Japanese version, and June 5th for the US version. Will still be on PlayStation 4, Switch, and on PC.
Switch
and PC. So basically $70 total for the whole entire thing is really not that bad. So like all the people who have been yelling about the DLC and all that stuff like that, I felt like it was a little bit premature, right? Because a lot of these fighting games are $60 right now. This one's only gonna be $50, so then 70 is $20, and it's a decent amount of new characters in there. So
it's cool. It's cool with me. I don't have any complaints about that.
Right.
Definitely looking forward to that game.
Hager. Hey, at UF Faranasty, can you please tweet us the question, not in the chat, because then I can't keep track of it. Tweet us the question at UltraChen TV. So
there really is an UltraChen SoundCloud.
There
it's
is.
At SoundCloud.com/UltraChen TV.
Yep, that is correct. Also, Them's Fightin' Herds is not out tomorrow. It's out on Friday, I believe. It comes out on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, and today is the 20th.
Sounds like correct.
But Them's Fightin' Herds, last time I remember they said that it was going to come out on the 23rd unless something changed, and it's coming out on the 21st. That's another game that I'm really excited about, but it's going to be the hardest one for me to play because I don't have a PC upstairs.
I'm sure you can. I feel like that's a tablet or laptop game.
Probably, yeah, but I don't have a tablet or a laptop.
Don't you have a laptop?
I have a Mac laptop.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little rough for me. It's going to be a little rough for me. Oh, 22nd, and the story mode is delayed. That's what people are saying, so okay. Also, it was announced that Anime Ascension is taking place at the end of March. It will be the same weekend as NorCal Regionals, unfortunately. Yeah. God, I wanted to go to both of these events, but, we'll see what happens. So.
I can't do either of them.
Yeah. I know.
It's
that's
on
right,
Pesach again.
Yep. Got to deal with this.
5 out of 6 years.
And also, all the EVO stuff is up. EVO registration is open. Artist Alley application is open. The side event stream application is also open.
Okay.
And I saw a tweet from EVO saying they've already gotten a bunch of applications for MVCI, UMVC3, for Pokken, for a bunch of stuff. So there's a bunch of games there, trying to vie for some time on that side stream. So definitely, if you want to get a side tournament there, I mean, I think Catherine was one of the one that they said was there as well. So there you go. They're going to dedicate one of their streams to the side tournaments.
Very cool.
So if that's something you want to look into, go check out the Evo account on Twitter @Evo, and you'll find all that information on how to apply that. I think media application is there for a media pass, et cetera, et cetera.
Awesome,
so all the registration stuff is open now. So
cool.
There you go. And that's all I have for news. Because literally I didn't see anything else unless I'm missing something. All right, so let's go ahead and try to get some questions going here.
Twitter.com.
So Twitter, UltraChen TV, let's get some questions going.
Yeah, hopefully / presumably Tekken World Tour and Injustice Tour, whatever, will be back. I hope so.
I mean, Markman was like, I don't know why people are assuming it's not coming back just because it hasn't been announced. Just because one tour's been announced and the other hasn't doesn't mean they're not coming back. I'm pretty sure that means the Tekken World Tour is coming back.
That sounds like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope the IPS comes back.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, will I get all this stuff up here? God, corn chips are so good. Why?
Well, they're engineered to be good.
I guess that's true. You're the one who told me about the Brussels sprouts, right?
Yes. Well, in any case, I did tell you, yeah.
That they're not necessarily engineered, but just during the course of time, they kept finding ways to make them tastier and tastier.
Engineered in a way, yeah.
I was actually hanging out with someone one time, and I was like, I saw something, a restaurant was serving Brussels sprouts, and I was like, ooh, Brussels sprouts. I like Brussels sprouts. She was like, that is the weirdest thought. Like, nobody ever says that, right?
Not true.
But nowadays, then I told her the story. I was like, yeah, they're actually now, engineered in a way to make them tastier, and they're super good now, so. All right. So we're going to start off here with a question by a crime fighter.
What?
Because that's what his handle is.
A crime fighter.
A crime fighter. What do you think about MI Masters FGC having 24-hour side tournaments?
Dang.
Is this the future for...
Huh. Do you mean... I'm not sure what this means. Surely the tournaments themselves can't be 24 hours. They shouldn't be.
That just might mean it's like AGDQ where they're actually playing tournaments for the whole 24 hours. So maybe the side tournaments are even playing during the night.
Like 2 a.m. Melty Blood. Huh.
I mean, look, it's a cool idea, but for somebody who actually wants to play in all the games, it's bad.
That sucks, I would think.
Because, what if you're, the biggest Melty Blood fan, and Melty Blood's at, 4 a.m., but then you're also playing Street Fighter, which is at, which is going to be at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. I mean, I like the idea of it, but in actual practice, it might not work out great.
Side tournaments starting at all hours of the night. Melty is a main game, though.
Oh, well, okay.
Our bad.
There you go.
Just going on stereotypes over here.
Okay. I mean, if they mean by side games like the Sailor Moon game and then TMNT Fighters.
Sailor Moon's a main game.
Then maybe it'll work.
Yeah,
maybe it'll work.
But in any case, 24-hour venues are good times.
Yes, 24-hour venues are always great stuff. So, whoops, this is a response. Ooh, Silent Scope asking us some questions here.
This guy.
Silent Scope says, what are your thoughts on Evo's side tournament stream, and what games would you like to see?
Ooh, okay.
I mean, we're obviously going to be biased. We're going to say ST and Third Strike, right? That's Vampire Savior. Of course, MVCI.
I'd like to see MVCI and Marvel 3.
Yeah, I would
really
like to see Marvel 3 as well. And I know Angelic is working hard on that. He's spearheading the application for both of those games.
Right.
So
good stuff. I'd like to see KI.
Yes.
I would like to see MK9.
Skullgirls. Sure. Be another good one.
I feel like everything will be there.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would also be awesome because, even at Evo Japan, like I said, ARMS actually looked really cool. I think ARMS would be neat there.
It did, actually.
Catherine would be super cool to have there as well. I'm totally down with it. Final Fantasy Dissidia, I think it would be really cool.
There you go.
Them's fighting hers? Can you? Oh, that would be sick if they could get one from over there. Fight of Gods.
Fight of Gods. Dang.
They keep adding new characters, too.
Are there?
There's a new character that I saw that I was like, who is this?
The last one I saw was Santa Claus.
Yeah, there's someone after Santa Claus. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
KOF, of course. KOF, of course. Yeah, Unio.
Under Night.
Dude, there's too many games. There's too many games that could do this.
Bring back Mario Kart so James can get top 8.
Yeah.
You know who apparently is the best at Mario Kart? Is Katana Prime.
What?
Yeah, apparently he's won like 4 years in a row or something like that, Mario Kart at some event.
Which Mario Kart?
I don't know, man. But
really?
Like, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I guarantee you he's better than me because I have not kept up.
Yeah.
And my best was DS, but
yeah,
that's
same.
So different than all the other ones.
Yeah,
so.
My favorite one for sure.
All right. This one's kind of a tough question to
Whoa.
answer. Pedro asks, what are your greatest fighting game moments you guys got to experience? Very difficult to answer because there's so many good ones.
There are a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I did get to do the Daigo moment, which was kind of life-changing in a way. Because when I saw the Daigo moment happening and I heard the room thunderous applause and just how crazy everyone was going, it was the first time that it really appeared to me like this could become a real spectator thing. You know, that was what convinced me that the current time that we're living in was possible, was seeing that Daigo moment. So that probably is one of, I mean, that's the corny answer, but, you know.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Right, but that's definitely one of the biggest ones for me.
Man, yeah, it's really hard for me to say.
There's a lot. There's a lot to choose from.
I mean, you and me have been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of things happen. The first time Evo, maybe like 2010 Evo, where it was like all of a sudden gigantic.
Oh,
like even 2009 was big, but like 2010
was a result of 2009.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and that was the first year we were doing commentary.
First year commentary.
There,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That may be it for me.
Okay. But yeah, again, that's a really tough question to answer. It's a very, very tough question.
That Combo's Bionic Arm, that was definitely a cool one. That was in 2011. Quite a while ago.
Right. Also, guys, if you want to ask questions, definitely send it to us on Twitter at UltraChenTV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been getting too many questions yet. So
Punko's double perfect on Daigo. Yeah.
That actually, according to Mr. Wizard, has been one of his favorite Evo moments ever. Like maybe even more than the Daigo parry.
Known Daigo hater, Mr. Wizard.
Dude, everyone is a Daigo hater, dude.
I don't think that's true.
Anytime you say anything remotely negative about Daigo, you become a Daigo hater. You know, like I'm like a big Daigo fanboy, and I'm like, oh, I'm surprised he's doing well. And was like, why are you always hating on Daigo? I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, he's a good fella.
So Obelman asks, how do you feel about NRS just being an MK Injustice team since everyone thinks MK11 will be announced this year?
Well, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Those are the two games that they develop. I'm happy that they started developing something other than MK, which they hadn't forever. Right. So that's fine with me. The only thing I really want is I wish that they allowed more than 2 years before they put out the next game.
Right.
I understand why they don't. Mm-hmm. They make a lot of money on each time they put out a new game. I get it. Product cycles, capitalism, etc. But that said, I really wish we had like at least 3 years to flesh a game out, you know? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's it.
Especially because I think Injustice 2 has been easily their most solid game up to this point.
They keep getting better. Yeah.
I really like how this game is turning out. Yeah. Or I should say turned out.
I'm with you.
And so, like, hopefully they give it time to soak into the...
I gotta tell you, I'm looking for an announcement of MK11 in, I think it's April. Every 2 years they announce it in the same month. And I think it's April, but it might be May.
Do you think they might announce it at Combo Breaker or something like that?
It makes sense to me.
Right.
It's kind of their hometown event.
Yeah.
TMNT only game.
Dude, they should do that and bring back all the characters like Chrome Dome.
Yeah, Chrome Dome was sick, dude. He had an invincible projectile. What are you doing? That was his wake up. He had Dalsum normals, Zangief command grab, a fireball, but the fireball was his invincible move.
Right.
And he also had touch of death situations. Wow, that character was messed up. What a cool character.
Well, here, Tiger Enthusiast doesn't have a question, but he just wanted to express how much he enjoys the show and appreciates that we two have continued to do it all these years. Always something I look forward to. Look, man, if you told us 6 years ago that this would be our 7th year doing this, because we know the hardest thing on the planet of doing any project is consistency and continuing to do it. And trust us, there are so many weeks where the two of us are let's just cancel, but we just keep doing it because we do enjoy it, and at the same time, it's nice. It keeps us informed of everything that's going on and everything like that. So we do enjoy it a lot. And so, if you told me we would still be doing, I'm uploading season 7 videos.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous to me, but it's been a good time. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the 7 years that we've been doing this, so I look forward to it. So. Yeah.
You think that the gear system will be in MK11 because they're probably trying it out with Raiden and Sub-Zero for the next MK game. That'd be pretty cool. But I also think that the gear system is like an evolution of the variation system.
Right, yeah. I was about to say,
so.
I would be sad if they took away the variation system.
Me too, I really like that. And it's not the first time that an MK game has had that. Characters have had multiple weapons in the past, so it'd be cool to see that continued.
Also, we've got a question specifically for David here from Colin.
Yeah.
Says, assuming MK11 premieres at E3, what is the one thing, feature, or fighter you would want to see for the new game?
Oh, that's never something that I really think too much about. What I always want to see primarily is just new stuff. I'm not terribly invested in returning characters or returning mechanics. I just want to see new things, so that's, as a result, really hard to answer. But if I were to name one thing that I want to see come back, I really miss block dashing from MK9, where you could dash and then cancel your dash with a block. Because that mobility that you could get from that was really unique. In MKX, you ran, right? Dash, then block turned into run, which meant that you had super fast movement, but not like the same kind of
positioning,
exact positioning. And of course, it was also hidden in the stamina meter. So
that's right. Yeah.
You couldn't just keep running. So I really think that movement was some of the most interesting that I've ever played in a fighting game. I'd like to come back.
In MKX, was the foot speed for the characters still pretty much universal for most of the characters, or did they actually?
MKX had some significant differences.
Okay, so that one did. Okay, because I know MK9, everyone basically kind of had the same kind of movement. Right? Yeah. Okay.
But in MKX as well, on top of walk speed, some characters' runs were full screen in 1 second.
Right.
And some were like pretty slow. So,
Let's see. Does the money from the Ultra Chen TV subscriptions go to a different account than the jchensor ones? Yeah. jchensor ones is just me. Ultra Chen TV ones, we share that one. So it just depends on who you feel like supporting and stuff like that. So, I mean, you have subscriptions on yours as well, right?
I don't think so.
I think you're partnered, right?
I am partnered.
Yeah, you're partnered.
I hope nobody's been subscribing to me for the last 6 months because I haven't done anything and I haven't checked. So.
But theoretically, you do have subscriptions. Yeah, so if you just feel like supporting Ultra David for the hell of it, you can do that. You can do that. So, Mzuki asks, do you think that Street Fighter V having DLC characters locked behind a paywall gives DLC buyers an unfair advantage? I find it very hard to be competitive when I can't lab against DLC characters in training mode.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the answer is yes. I mean, for sure, if you can buy them, you have an advantage because you can lab them, right? That makes a huge difference. The thing, I guess, if you are competitive, there's no excuse for you not to have them. You know what I mean? You got to do it if you're a pro player. But if you're a casual player and you're just playing for fun, it can be kind of frustrating. So,
I mean, I've heard Knuckle Dew and Punk talk about how they didn't own some characters in the past.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's a rarity. Most people have the characters. I got Blanka from Fight Money.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have a Season 3 pass, so I just...
I think I do on... It's either PlayStation or PC. I have one or the other. I forget which, whatever.
Okay.
so I got him on fight money. But that means I don't have the amusing costume.
Right.
Because it's just bare bones as a result. But I can lab him.
Right.
So that's possible. It's not the best solution because it takes a long time to get enough fight money for that, but it's possible.
I think it would be kind of neat if they made it so that characters can only be played in training mode.
It would be super cool.
Or even if they are scared about that, because you can kind of simulate like actual matches in training mode. Just make it so you can do them in training mode, but like limit it to like 2 hours a day. Because, I mean, that would be enough for you to lab at least, and then you couldn't play long sessions, but at least you can figure out what's plus and minus and things like that. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I just don't know if they have that kind of infrastructure within the code to do that. So
seems unlikely.
They could probably put it in there, but it just wouldn't be something that they could just turn on and off super easily like that. So,
yeah.
Okay. Again, if you want to ask us questions, send it to us via Twitter instead of typing it in the chat because chat scrolls too fast and we're going to miss things. So, Tavi Turnip says that she may have a mouse in her kitchen. Can we send Nathan and Lyra?
Well, Lyra is a little bit busy being a cute cat in my apartment.
Okay.
What about Nathan?
Nathan, I mean, I'm trying to decide right now because he usually is the one that's more aggressive when I feed them like spiders and silverfish and stuff like that. So,
hold on, what?
My cats will go after bugs and eat them.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I don't actually feed it to them, but like if there's a spider, I'll be like, kitty, 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 and then the kitty will run over and like start. But Jasmine does the thing where she just kind of like and just keeps hitting it forever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh. But Nathan will run by and be like,
he'll get it.
And then they just eat it. Yeah, like that. So there you go.
So Ajax has a hairball for the first time ever.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
He retched so significantly that we actually took him to the vet because we thought there was something actually wrong. So they just had us get like a lube. So he has like lube, but for cats. Throat lube. Yeah,
you put it in his food or something, or
what you do is it's his paste, and you're supposed to put it on his paw or on his nose, so he licks it off. Yeah. So what I did at first is I put it on his little hand, and he went twice, and then he just started walking around without the fourth paw. It was like it's a dead paw.
He was walking like this, basically?
He just
oh my god!
Completely ignored that paw until I was like, fine, I'm just gonna clean it off. So I put it on his nose and it all worked out.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty genius, though. He's just like, fine, I don't need this hand.
Oh, man. Fernando Mendez asks, MVCI can get more people than BlazBlue at EVO as a side tournament? Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it couldn't.
I think that's likely.
BlazBlue will only be 2 months old, or 1 month old. 2 months?
Month and a half.
Month and a half, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if MVCI had more entrants, and it's definitely not a dead game. A lot of people are still playing it. So, all right. So Tiger asks,
"Ooh,
who are your sleeper player picks to make it far in any fighting game tour in 2018?"
Well.
That's a tricky one because there's not a lot of tours, right? I mean, so far the Capcom's the only official one that's been announced. I'm assuming Tekken World Tour is going to be announced at some point in time. I hope an Injustice one gets announced. And I think that Bandai Namco has already said Dragon Ball's not going to have a tour.
Oh, really?
Year. I think so.
Dang.
I remember someone saying that to me. Someone in the chat can confirm that or not. So.
That sucks.
Yeah, but let us know.
Yeah, we'll be at Final Round.
Yeah, we'll be at Final Round.
We actually just got tickets.
Mm-hmm. So, who's your sleeper player?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. I don't know that there's any character, any player who I think is going to jump up that did not already do so last year. You know, beginning of last year, I thought Punk was going to jump up. Then it seemed like Mena was on the cusp, and then he did it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like, is there a Mena RD from last year? You know? Oh, well, you know what? I would probably pick like guys like Kichipamu.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Right. So he's an excellent Zangief player, young kid.
Yeah.
some of those young players like that. Maybe.
Hopefully he switches characters.
Dude, I will tell you this right now. Who do I think is going to be like top 5 on the leaderboard this year?
Yeah.
It's probably Itazan.
Definitely, dude.
Because if he plays Abigail, oh man, he's going to, yeah.
Dude, you know what's very funny? Is now Nemo's going to get to see what a strong grappler looks like in Street Fighter, because that hasn't happened in a long time. And he's hated Zangief this whole time, and Zangief's like not actually top 5, but Abigail probably really is. So
yeah. Abigail is legit. Well, someone asked me this question. Gerald L.A. Akira asked me who I felt like in Street Fighter Season 3 feels like would be the strongest characters so far.
Yeah.
And, Abigail, Rashid are like 2 of the easy answers. It was hard for me to name someone else that I felt like was going to be super strong. I was thinking maybe Manat is going to be super good. Maybe Ibuki, because people are finding crazy things with V-Trigger 2 now. What do you think right now?
I think the best seems like it's Rashid. I think I would say probably like Rashid and Guile. I'm not sure that I think Abigail's really going to be at the very top. I think there's going to be a little bit of him falling down. Not even so much that it's grappler syndrome, but that
because he's barely a grappler.
Right, that's not even the main part of it, right? But in the same way that maybe like a boxer kind of fell down a little bit last year.
Okay.
He was always a good character, but by the end of the year, he wasn't winning stuff in the same way that people thought he was going to, because other players had kind of figured some stuff out. So I expect him to fall a little bit, but he'll always be good, I think. So yeah, I would say Rashid seems like number 1 to me. Guile,
I honestly,
Cammy.
I do think Cammy is going to be. Yeah, I was about to say same thing. I really do think. I feel like low jab in a throw is going to be so good for her. So, okay. And there was a slight patch, but they only nerfed stuff for V-Trigger 2 mostly, and V-Trigger 1 is the scarier one anyway for Abigail. So.
Oh yeah.
The patch that's coming out. So.
Oh, well, I think he's saying that there was a patch in Season 2, so there may be one in Season 3.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which may be the case.
Okay.
But even in Season 2's case, mid-season patch was not very big. There was some slight changes to some characters, but not a lot.
Like, Urian was probably the one that got hit the hardest.
Yeah, Urian got nerfed.
And he was still super good anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Fang got a little bit better. There's some slight changes.
He got unnerved.
Unnerved, right.
All right, so Suresh asks, what fighting game would you want to be a developer on?
Ooh.
I mean, for me, I've always said I want to make a Darkstalkers game, right? So Darkstalkers would be a fun one for me to work on, but only because I feel like I would be one of the people that could try to make sure that it doesn't go the wrong direction. Because I know that, Vampire Savior is such a special thing in terms of art, in terms of just like how it's presented between the humor, the sexuality, the violence, all the different artistic elements of the game. And I feel like taking it one direction too much, like trying to make the game too sexy or try to make the game not funny enough, or there's a lot of sadness in the game too. Like the War Agony is like one of the greatest soundtrack songs ever, and it's just like really somber, and the stage is like dilapidated, side alley streets, and stuff like.
You can play it in front of a giant fetus.
Yeah, exactly. And you would need that perfect balance of all the elements. And I feel like a lot of people might lose sight of that, or just think, hey, these characters are crazy. Let's make crazy characters. And it's like, no, that's not going to work. So that would be one game. Rival Schools is always one that I've always wanted to do on. I've always joked that I want to make a modern Yi-R Kung Fu.
Okay.
I would love to make an Avatar, The Last Airbender fighting game.
That Avatar.
Yeah, not the other one, but yeah. Those are probably my 4. I also have a secret answer which I'm not going to reveal right now.
Dang.
So.
All right. Well, if there were any fighting game I could bring back, it would be FighterZ Destiny. Because I loved the point system of that game. So in that game, it was first to 7 points, I recall correctly. And there were different ways to do it. Ring out got you 1 point. A knockdown got you 3 points.
Right.
Removing the opponent's life bar and then getting a finishing move on them was 4 points.
Oh, dang, okay.
Yeah, but that took the longest because you had to pummel them in a way that was different. It was a pretty busted game, and characters were very imbalanced, and it was, but it was a very interesting idea that I would love to see again.
That's why you'd want to work on that. Because you could make it not busted.
Ideally, anyway. But as far as a practical matter goes, any like likely games, probably like MK11.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That would actually be cool to get you on a game designing team like that.
They wanted me to come for Injustice 2 to test stuff.
Oh, right.
Wanted me to come out there for like a couple weeks to test things, but I couldn't take time off and do all that stuff. So.
Okay. Let's see here. Incross. Hey, what's going on? That page doesn't exist anymore. He deleted his question. Okay, let's refresh this. Probably ask it again a little bit later on. Ephemeral asks, what do you think about the idea that a good commentator has to also be or have been a good player? I don't think they have to have been like a great player, but at least somebody who's played enough to understand how the mind games and fighting games work.
Yeah.
And the mentality and how nervous you get when you play, or, to recognize things that are happening to the people who are actually playing. Yeah. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I do you don't need to have been the Justin or Tokido or Punk or whatever generation or whatever game to be a good commentator. But I do think that you should have been like one of the better players at some point. Like you should, because the mental side of it is so important, and knowing what somebody is likely to do at any one time or why they may have done it is really important for having good commentary. Really important, because if you don't have that, then you're not adding anything, right? Like it's very hard to like add anything,
right?
Unless it's just excitement, I guess. But just that is stale too. Like even if you listen to Yipes, he's not only doing like the crazy stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of info in there too. So that's I do think something that's necessary to be strong.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that in fighting games in particular, like I think you can get away with not being great in some other things, even some athletic sports, even some other esports or whatever like that. But the hardest thing about fighting games is so much happens that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things that make people make the decisions didn't happen on the screen. Like sometimes you'll see someone messes something up and like you can kind of recognize they messed it up and that affects their decision later on or why this happened. But all the things that are important in a fighting game, a lot of them is hidden behind stuff that you don't actually see happen on the screen. Like there'll be times I'll see someone like play and you'll see someone do a move, and for some reason you just know, okay, that guy realized what just happened there at that particular moment. Like weird things like that. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Well, I feel like the biggest difference personally is that the FGC sort of requires their commentators to really know what's going on in a way that other scenes don't. So it's not uncommon for commentators in other scenes to have commentated like just a host of very different games. Hearthstone and League of Legends and StarCraft and Overwatch.
Right.
I feel like I can't commentate most fighting games.
Right.
In reality, if I were to sit down and knowing nothing about a fighting game other than just my fundamentals, I would know way more than somebody going from StarCraft to Overwatch. Right?
Yeah.
But I feel uncomfortable doing that because I know the scene has expectations, and I share those expectations. So I want to know, but that's not how it is for other scenes. In sports, it's not even desirable by a lot of people because they don't know or care about the game in such depth that they need somebody to sit there breaking down why this was a nickel play and why somebody went on a post.
Right.
They don't care about that. It's like actively you should avoid that. So in those cases, it's, I think, really easy to be a commentator without having played the game.
And you know what? A lot of people in the chat are talking about this right now, too. If you are good at the game, also has no guarantee that you're going to be a good commentator.
Sure.
Which is one of the hardest parts right there, right? So it's just like, Wayne Gretzky or Magic Johnson as a coach.
Yeah.
Like, they're some of the greatest players of their sport of all time, but as coaches, they were kind of,
Right.
Right? So...
Yeah. For sure.
But, it's funny because like you mentioned, when I did that ArcSys stream, I had to commentate Mori and Daisuke playing the slice, dice, and rice game, and I was just like, all right, let's do this. But I'm just gonna base on what I can tell, you know. But you're right. You can still do it with fundamentals, but
like with the Overwatch League, 2 of the biggest commentators were folks who had previously just done like League, and then another guy had done all the games. I literally Hearthstone, StarCraft, League, like he had just been everywhere. They did obviously get some shooters guys, but they. But the guys who didn't previously do shooters are there because they bring lots of fans.
Right.
They have a big fan base, and they're smart fellows. I'm sure they can learn the game, but there's not the same expectation in other esports scenes that the commentators will have the same in-depth stuff that a fighting game commentator will have.
I really like what Rio Ayanami says in the chat. As a good commentator is someone who loves talking about the game. And that's like one of my... every one time someone asks me what's my advice for commentary, I always say, just make sure you're having fun and make sure you love the game. Because as long as you love the game, it comes through. You know what I mean? And it automatically makes it that much more interesting. So
yeah, and you're not going to hate it as the commentator.
Yeah, exactly, which is important too.
Yeah, dude.
I've definitely listened to some commentators not want to be there doing commentary.
I've done it in the past. I remember when I hated Marble 3 for that period of time.
Oh yeah,
like a year or two where I hated it, and I was still commentating it, and it was clear. And people called me out on it, and
okay.
And I could hear it in my own commentary and listening back to it.
Huh, interesting.
That I wasn't as invested as I should have been.
Right.
So I get it.
All right. Well, Peter0611 asks, what EVO numbers do you expect Dragon Ball to get? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the EVO lineup reveal. I said that if the EVO registration was before the game came out, that we would probably have 5,000 to 6,000 people in there. But because now the game has come out, and just naturally, it's not Dragon Ball's fault, it's just general hype has died down a little bit.
It happens.
I think it'll probably be reasonably about 3,000 to 4,000. I think somewhere around in there.
Yeah, my guess is about 3. Yeah.
If it could get to over 9,000, that would be the most amazing thing. But no,
it would be a bummer if it got to like 8,500. Like, why bother?
Okay. Sorry, by the way, stream, that I'm chomping on chips. I know you can hear that through my microphone really badly, but again, I can't stop eating corn chips. I can't.
I can just eat all the rest of them. You know, I can just take it away
might
from
be
you.
a good way to do that. Aaron Lanton asks, what is currently missing from Challenge on Smash GG to take them to the next level for players, broadcasters, event planners, spectators, etc.? That's an interesting one.
It is an interesting question. The thing that I want to see the most is frequent updates, which is not a Smash GG/Challenge issue. It's the tournaments themselves. When a tournament is updated in real time, it's super helpful to me on commentary to know what's going on, because I want to be able to talk about upcoming matches,
right.
Or
who they beat.
They just beat some great player on their way here, or they lost to some Joe Schmo. How'd that happen? Like that's something that is really, really nice to be able to talk about on commentary. So that, I think, is the biggest thing for me.
Dude, actually, I really.
But again, it's not really a Smash GG/Challenge issue.
I really like what Toph said, though. Having an app, an app for Smash.gg, I think would be super nice.
It would be great. Oh man, Curly, I bet you have.
Yeah,
opinions.
I know. That's why I started laughing.
I bet you are made of opinions.
That's why I started laughing as soon as I read that from Curly. I was like, oh man, he could have his own 2-hour show on this topic alone. So follow Curly W on Twitter, and you will be able to see the opinions on this one for sure. But I mean, Curly W, if you had your number one thing, what would you?
He's already typing it up for sure. He hasn't typed. He hasn't hit send yet, but he's definitely typing it.
Okay.
So Mr. Beck thinks if you click someone's name in a bracket, if it showed everyone they faced previously, that would be awesome. Agreed. Rather than having to navigate back through the steps, you just click their name and see exactly what's happened. That actually would be really nice.
There's just a lot of really good UI stuff that they could do that would help a lot. So, all right. Nutacon asks, who do we want to be as a guest character for Soul Calibur 6? Someone actually responded to him and said 2B. from
2B?
Neo.
I have no idea, dude.
You know the chick with
Yes, I do, but I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've never played it, and I've never talked about it with anybody. So.
Yeah.
Not a word I've ever said out loud.
But that would be an interesting character, for sure. Who would I like?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they better have Astaroth, I'll tell you that much.
It's not a guest character.
That's all I care about. Somebody with a weapon. It's got to be a weapon.
Actually, you know what? I think it would be awesome if they put someone like Biken in the game.
Dang, that'd be wild.
Put Biken in the game, or put someone like Haomaru or something like that.
Haomaru would be sick.
Haomaru might be kind of cool.
But Mitsurugi is kind of that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Kind of that role.
Yeah, I guess he's kind of in there already.
What about like Kusarageto? That would be crazy.
Which one's that one?
You know the giant dude from Samurai Games?
Oh, the one with the giant, like who looked kind of like a Titan, right? One of the Titans from Attack on Titan.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, with his like arm bone, whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. He'd be like the whole size of the stage.
Yeah, just put in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Actually.
Yeah, actually, have different takes. Wouldn't it be so cool if you could have different takes on TMNT in different games?
Dude, actually, if they just started doing that and putting them in every fighting game, that actually would be
awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually would be super cool. Yeah, put them in like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, dude, Dragon Ball TMNT.
Dragon Ball, put them in Street Fighter. What the hell? Just put them in everything, dude. I think that would be super. That'd be awesome. They would rule the fighting game universe. All right, here's Incross's question. If the netcode is solid, do you guys think Third Strike will resurge in the West with Street Fighter Anniversary Edition or Anniversary Collection? The game being on all platforms is huge.
Well, I doubt that it will resurge in the sense that it'll be like a main game again, but sure, people will come back to play it who have not been playing it. I'm looking forward to it myself.
I mean,
so sure.
Third Strike is the hardest one because the Third Strike players are really picky on not being on the arcade hardware. Like, they're super picky about that. Yeah. But they've already said it's arcade perfect. I mean, good
that is quite a claim.
That is quite a claim. Good luck with that.
They really put themselves on a limb with that.
Yeah.
If it turns out that it's like arcade perfect with the exception that there's no, handcuffs glyph or Remy stays floating at the end of the round or whatever, that's fine. I don't need that stuff. But if there's if like Akuma forward medium punch is not throw invincible, that's a problem.
If Q is not throw invincible while he's crouching.
Exactly. The transition. For sure, dude.
Yeah.
So I doubt it will be arcade perfect. That'd be very surprising. But I hope it.
I really doubt there's going to be a resurgence for either for that or Super Turbo or anything else. The player base that plays it will increase. For sure, there'll be more people who will play it, so the ST scene will get a little bit bigger.
Right.
Maybe Third Strike can have an ST revival-like scene where it is just played everywhere now because you finally have a version that's acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Because really, honestly, you can't really super gun Third Strike. That's one of the things that holds it back compared to Super Turbo.
So?
Yeah, because that hardware was way harder to do and stuff like that. Okay. Otherwise, I feel like people would be taking it around and playing it a lot of places as well. So, yeah. And yeah, if the netcode on that thing is super good, that'd be so great. Jerry asks, after the recent CPT season announcement, do you guys think we are headed in a direction where we'll need an amateur circuit? Ooh.
Oh, I really hope not. I hope that there will not be an explicit bifurcation like that. That would be a big bummer.
Right.
I want the scene to be at least open to everybody. I understand that there will be pros. There are pros. And have been.
Dude, there are so many chips in this bag, dude.
Oh, it's full of chips.
People are noticing that we haven't stopped eating chips forever.
It's awesome. I like this place. But I don't want it to be like so explicitly separate.
Yes.
I want the top players to have to play randos, and I want randos to get the chance to play against the top players.
Right.
I don't want it to be so separate.
I would never make it so that amateurs couldn't play in a tournament.
Yeah.
I would almost rather make it so that pros couldn't play in a tournament.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you could have a tournament of amateurs.
Okay.
Or like how West Coast Warzone always did the 0-2 tournament afterwards, which is always a cool idea, right?
Definitely cool.
But I would never make it so that, unless it's an invitational, obviously, because that's a completely different thing. But if it's a tournament, I will never, ever, ever, ever limit anybody. Mm-hmm. Like you have to maintain that arcade culture. You put up a quarter. I don't care if I don't like the way you look. I don't care if I just think you smell or whatever like that. You
probably smell.
You put a quarter up there. You had a right to play me.
Yeah.
I could not refuse you. You know, like no one could stop you from playing.
Yeah.
You know, you could talk trash after you beat them or whatever.
Yeah.
But as long as they put that
BO.
quarter up, you could play, and that's the way that the fighting game community needs to stay. So if there's a tournament, as long as you put in your registration fee, you get to play.
Yep, I'm with that. And yeah, West Coast Warzone had a tournament where everybody who went 0-2 then got put into another tournament, comprised only of those people.
Yep.
And I think it was double a limb still, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it still was. And some people definitely went 0-4.
Arlieth won that one year.
He did. I can't believe that Arlieth went 0-2. Former United States SBO representative went 0-2 in a tournament somehow, but then he ended up winning it. So, what a ringer. It's a great concept, though. Mm-hmm. I really wish more tournaments did that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Zarek asks, what would be the best game to enter at EVO as a first tournament starter? So if you've never played at a tournament before and you want to enter a game, I would just enter Street Fighter V. I think that would probably be the best one to enter, mostly just because the game is calm enough that, you know, you can get some experience out of it. There's going to be a lot of people playing it there, so you're going to probably be able to get a lot of casuals in once the tournament gets far enough. And you have the chance to meet the most people, I think, right now. Or Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Or Dragon Ball right now.
Actually, maybe Dragon Ball, because it is a little bit more easy at the very start.
Yeah.
My advice would be whatever you enjoy playing. Mm-hmm. That's it. Doesn't need to be one game in particular. There's no game that's really that much better in that respect. It's better to just make sure that you're playing a game that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy a game, whether you learn anything about it or not, it's not really going to be important because you're not going to want to continue playing anyway. Mm-hmm. So do the stuff you like.
Agreed. Okay. So AJ Papa,
oh boy,
good old AJ asks, when's the Ultra David political stream?
Look, AJ, I just streamed for the first time today in like 6 months. It's been probably 3 times in a year. You know, maybe. I'm not going to rule it out.
Oh, man.
But that requires so much like preparation. I was thinking about how it would go at one point. And I would have to spend some time seeing like, all right, what are the important news stories of the week?
Right.
Writing out what I would want to say about it. It'd be weird to have just me on it every time.
Right.
Who am I going to ask to be a guest?
Right.
Like
you need to have guests and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of work for it.
Okay.
And I see value in it, but I'm not sure that I hard to justify all that.
Right.
You know what really grinds my gears? Boy.
Ultra David, what grinds my gears stream. Nice.
Yeah. Go on InfoWars. Oh, geez.
Oh, God.
That's not a place I would use it as a source. Yeah.
All right, here's an interesting question. Luis asks, what are your 3 favorite fighting games before Vanilla Street Fighter 4?
Woo!
And your favorite 3 games past Vanilla Street Fighter 4?
Okay, easy.
Or post Ultra Street Fighter 4.
So after,
So not counting anything during the Street Fighter 4 period?
Well.
Or is he just saying don't count Street Fighter 4?
Don't count SF4, I think is how I'm going to take this.
Okay, all right.
So for me, probably for both of us, easy pre-SF4.
Well, 3, right?
Yeah,
3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, ST, Third Strike, and CVS2. And for you,
it'd be ST, Vampire Saver, and I'd have to think about the last one.
Okay.
I'll think about the last one. After, or not, the post time?
Yeah.
I mean, one of them would be Exer.
Sure.
For sure. There's so many fighting games after.
The thing is, if it's post 2015 when Ultra came out, right? There's not as many. There's still a lot of choices. Never mind. There actually still is a lot of choices. So, okay, if that...
Unio, yeah, I definitely enjoyed Unio a lot.
But there were so many games after SF4.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I guess I would say probably... I'd say Injustice 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for me, Tekken 7 would be one as well.
Sure, that's a good one.
For sure.
I'd say Injustice 2.
Yeah, that's actually true. I mean, for me, XX, Guilty Gear XX would probably be one of the pre-ones.
That makes sense, yeah.
And again, that would be the blob of all the XX games.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Part of me just wants to say, like, Injustice 2, MKX, and Injustice 1, but...
You're perfectly welcome to.
I know. I feel like that's stupid.
I might actually, honestly, put... Just because of how much I love the variety and the craziness of the game, I might even put UMVC 3 in there.
Yeah, that is a good pick. That is harder though than the pre SF4 for sure.
All right.
Oh, KI is a good choice. There's a lot of good choices. The ones I'm thinking about in my head are KI, all the NRS games. I really liked Skullgirls. I really liked Under Night. For a while, I was cracking on BlazBlue.
This is what I meant. After it was a lot.
There's a lot.
Right. See, there's a lot.
Yeah, I really liked Cross Tekken 2013. I really liked Marvel 3. Anyway, that's basically the list that I would draw from.
Because honestly, before, Street Fighter 4 was a turning point when fighting games actually became good and balanced.
Yeah.
So that's why before it's so much easier to say, because so many of the games that just weren't balanced that they're not even really worth mentioning. You know what I mean? Even half the games that we're talking about aren't even balanced, right? Because someone asked me, they're like, I got an interview question from someone one time. It was like, if they made Super Turbo in modern Street Fighter V graphics, but it played exactly like Super Turbo, do you think it would explode? I was like, no, because the game is broken beyond all reason, right? You would hear so much crying about Claw. Holy crap.
Yeah, you stumped us. Nice work. There's just a lot of choices.
Okay, Paul says he's a character designer. He has done 7 so far for SF and will be posting it on DeviantArt. We'd love to know our thoughts on them. Would that be okay? Just tweet at us.
Sure.
Link it to us, and we'll take a look if we get a chance. So.
I'm probably not going to be very helpful when it comes to the look of the character, because it's not something I pay attention to very much. Right. But you're into that.
Yeah, I would definitely. But I have strong opinions on that kind of thing.
Cool.
So. Yeah. Jason asked, "What is your current DBFZ tier list?" I do not know the game well enough to even remotely try to.
I think I agree with you there. I think that's a really tough question. That said, I do feel that Cell and 16 are really high up at the top. I think Cell might be the best character.
Cell looks super good.
Yeah, but other than that, I think it's really hard to know. Really hard. There's a lot of stuff to be learned, and especially there are characters that I thought seemed weak at the start that now I see people doing crazy stuff with them. And I've seen other people say that they think X or Y character is weak, and then somebody else is like, "What are you talking about? They have all these things." And we don't know enough. No individual person knows enough about the game yet. You know, people know their character, their team, or maybe their training partners, but not everybody.
And especially because the game doesn't play like anything we've ever played before. Because I'm telling you right now, give it another 2 months, the game's not going to look anything like we're playing it right now.
Yeah.
People are going to develop some crazy new meta in the game, and it's going to morph into something else. Now, before it would have taken 2 years.
Yeah.
But we're too good at fighting games now,
sure,
so it's going to take 2 months probably. So.
Adult Gohan, I think, is also really high up in that conversation. I saw people talking about it in the chat.
Because of the infinite block strings, basically, you know?
Yeah, but also he had, in those block strings, sick higher low mix-ups, standing L is low.
Right.
Really strong assist, really good damage. I just feel like he has a lot of stuff.
Okay. Endrel asks, seems like Capcom isn't going to support MVCI going forward. Are we seeing them on the decline, only maintaining one game now?
Well,
they're going to be maintaining another game called Monster Hunter, so I don't think we're going to be seeing them on any decline anytime
Capcom generally.
Yes.
All right. Capcom fighting games, I mean, if you look...
There doesn't seem like there's anything else.
It's been a while since they've had a release that everybody was like, this is great. That may be 20 years ago. In SF4, a lot of people thought it was good. A lot of people hated it. Cross Tekken, a ton of people hated. Marvel 3, some people hated it.
A lot of people hated it.
Yeah, at the start, a lot of people hated it. I don't know. Okay. Certainly
all the
at the
MVC2 heads did not like it.
Actually.
Yeah.
And then SF5, they got a bunch of crap.
Right.
Not undeserved for some things. Had a rootkit in it. Marvel Infinite is the same way. So, I don't know that there's like a solid tradition, really. I think that gets overblown. I really enjoy some of the games that they have made during that time. I played the crap out of SF4. It's probably the single most played game in my FGC history, even though it's not my favorite.
Okay.
But it's a game that I still really like. And I really like SF5 and Marvel 3 and so forth. But that said, they have not had like the big everybody loves it game. That hasn't happened.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't
this too long.
I don't even know if there's even another thing on the horizon at this point in time. So Street Fighter V already seems like it's a lot of work for them to maintain by itself. So do we expect to see a new Darkstalkers or a new Rival Schools or anything like that? Probably not, but I don't know. You never know what they're doing.
Yeah. And at the same time, I think it's a good thing to point out from Ryo Ayanami. No other fighting game dev is supporting even one game with a tournament circuit like CPT, which, that's basically accurate. Right. Injustice, for example, had a lot of money behind it, but it was, a lot of it was offloaded to E-League and stuff like that. So, yeah, all right.
Okay, well, we only have 5 more questions left, so let's go through these questions and then we'll just call it a night then.
Sure.
William asks, why is Pierre Ultra David's favorite FighterZ Destiny character? That's not true at all, right?
No.
Isn't it Marstorius is your favorite character? Or
are you thinking of...
that's FighterZ History.
Karnov's.
Yeah, sorry, never mind. Yeah,
it was Siege, obviously.
Which one was Siege?
He's a big German grappler.
Okay, all right.
But he doesn't look like... He's like a tall blue guy. He's kind of a different look, a little bit thinner than Zangief. But Pierre was fun.
How the hell do you spell Siege's name?
Ooh, I believe Z-E-I-G-E.
Oh, there it is. Yes, okay. Let's see here. Is it this guy?
Yeah, look on the left. See the left?
Oh, this right here?
Yeah.
So...
I mean, that looks exactly like somebody I would play, right? Come on.
Hang on, let me pull this out here so people can see it. There, this guy.
Look at this guy. Right? That's got Ultra David all over him.
Yeah, that's Ultra
on the left, of course.
Yeah, because ninjas are definitely not your thing.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Does that mean GOAT? Really?
Dude, he's the GOAT?
Let me know if that's accurate, because I don't know. I don't speak German. That's very interesting if so.
But there you
this
go.
is from FighterZ Destiny. So I liked him. I liked Abdul because he was a weirdo, and I thought Pierre was interesting, but kind of garbs.
I didn't know it was like a 3D game.
Oh, yeah, 3D game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must be getting it mixed up with FighterZ History.
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah, okay.
FighterZ Destiny 2. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Interesting. We've got some interesting questions here.
Okay.
Phil Rufio asks, pick your 3 favorite fighting game characters to play together in a team of 3. That is just...
So if we were to make a 3v3 dream game,
right?
Which 3 characters are in there?
Right, to put on a team together. I don't even know if I can answer that question.
So it's a hard one, because my favorite character is Q, and I think he would be the worst in a versus game setting. Cannot imagine him in a versus game setting at all.
Goku, Pink Goku, and
yeah, the various Gokus.
I mean, to be honest with you, mine would probably just end up being like 3 Darkstalkers.
Okay.
Oh no, it would be 2 Darkstalkers and Johnny maybe.
I think it'd be cool to have like Team Giant, you know, like Tigger, Waldstein, and Abigail, something like that would be kind of cool.
It'd be funny.
I actually would play that.
Yeah, I think Team Big Ugly Guy would actually be a funny team.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, that's a repeat. So we only have 4 questions.
Okay. Oh no, we're running out of chips soon.
Colin says, this was perfect timing then.
Excellent.
Colin asks, I love the SNK Star Wars fighting game Maka.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. That was pretty old, was it? Was it recent?
Oh, I saw it recently, but I don't know when it's from originally.
What kind of fighting game would you like for Star Wars? Something like Soul Calibur, Smash, or an SNK fighter?
Well, I think that Soul Calibur makes a lot of sense. Of course, Soul Calibur did have Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
That's Soul Calibur 4?
Actually, you know what? Weirdly enough, I feel like an Injustice engine would work really well because of blaster-type characters.
Okay,
kind of zoning,
I can see
kind
that.
of like shooting kind of characters.
That makes sense.
Right? And then the lightsaber guys would be close-up weaponsy kind of characters.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that.
I was thinking about that. I think that might actually work. So, okay. And then finally, last question here from Shamar Lomax says, what fighting games do you guys play stick pad on? Is there a specific game you switch up on or just one format for all? I only play stick. I only play stick for fighting games unless you count Smash Brothers. Then obviously I play on pad.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I only play stick on everything. So.
I played stick on everything, but I've been picking up Hitbox for the last half year. So now I would like to play Hitbox on everything, but there are some things that I think I wouldn't be able to. Like, I think that I just have too much muscle memory in 360s from Super Turbo to ever switch on that. So if I were to play ST again, I would play stick.
Yeah.
And I guess same for like Gigas in Street Fighter 3. Like, I would play stick, I think. But
dude, even Automatic, who was like all hitboxes.
Yeah. Recently
on stream, he was playing some Third Strike, and he was using a stick again.
Yeah, I think there's just something about games you have so much muscle memory with. I played Pokken on a pad, but only because that's what they wanted you to play on. You know.
That was one of the reasons I never played, because I never got my Pokken pad.
Yeah, it was a bummer that you had to do that for sure.
I never played that game, dude.
It's a good game.
Because I literally have no idea how that game plays. Like, I know so little about Pokken.
Super fun game.
Makes me sad, so.
Highly recommended.
Well, Incross added one more question.
All right, do it.
And he says
this is my last handful of chips.
Okay. And he says, do you think Street Fighter V would benefit eventually transitioning to a free-to-play model style?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I think that's been the case for quite a while. That would have been beneficial. And if it was going to have happened, it would have happened on launch. So I think that would be great, but I definitely don't expect it.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I don't really expect it from anybody.
I don't expect it from a Japanese company.
For sure not Japanese companies. But even like NRS, they make too much money. It's just like too consistent, you know. I feel like for them to, why change anything? They're just making a buttload of cash every time they put a game out.
It's true.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we saw it again. I think it was very cool that KI did that. But
it just didn't really work out.
Just unfortunate, you know, if it had been a PC launch.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not that it didn't work out. It was just on the wrong platform. That's it. So.
Only problem.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have.
If League of Fighters comes out, if Riot does put out a game, then they probably would do free to play.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Rising Thunder was going to do that too. So
there you go.
No more
So you're getting the grease. You getting the grease out of it?
The grease is the good part, though.
There's like a nut.
There's like a bean in there. Yeah.
What's going on with that bean? I don't like it.
I know.
A hard bean.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's about it.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. And
again, I apologize. I haven't been streaming as much as I want to.
How dare you not stream?
But I mean, obviously, we've been gone for a long time. I've been busy, and then now all my free days, I've been trying to re-edit and get everything on there. I still hate YouTube, and I hate all of its monetization. But because like I'll monetize the videos, and sometimes they'll flag them before I make them public.
Yeah.
And then you can request a review, and they'll review it.
Yeah.
As soon as you make them public, if you request a review, it's like, we won't review unless you get 1,000 views in 7 days.
So you should always review before you set public.
But they don't flag them sometimes until you put them as public. And so once I put them public, I have to put them back to private and then click on review, and then they don't have that requirement. Like, they don't even realize there's a workaround to their system.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I've been... So I've been putting videos public, and people would be like, oh, cool. And then that episode will disappear all of a sudden.
God.
Because I had to make it private just to... It's so stupid.
Very silly.
Hate it.
Oh, hey, something I don't hate anymore is Breath of the Wild.
Oh, have you been playing it some more?
I have been playing it some more. And what saved it for me was the camel. You know, the camel divine beast.
Oh, yeah. That dungeon was great.
Narodus? Something like that, was it?
I just called it Howl's Moving Camel. Did you not know the Howl's Moving Castle? Okay, never mind. Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. It's a Miyazaki film.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a fun dungeon.
Yeah.
It was a fun one. So really I was playing that and I was like, all right. This is a good game. And then also,
that was only the second Divine Beast you've done, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Some of the other ones get kind of crazy too.
I'm doing the elephant now. But
oh yeah. Okay.
It's all right,
dude. You figured out the elephant, right?
I literally just got that.
Oh, okay.
So don't tell me. But.
Okay, yeah. I'll next week I'm gonna talk to you about it because my friend played that dungeon and like.
Okay.
Oh man!
Water templed him.
Well, basically, he didn't realize you could do something, and he beat it like the extreme hard way.
Oh, sick! All right.
Yeah.
So since I played the camel, I also played some shrines that were actually interesting. Because before, I feel like I just maybe randomly found the worst shrines.
I told you that there's some of them that are stupidly easy, and then some of them get really cool.
Even the one wasn't that they were easy, it was that they were boring.
Yeah.
Like, even if they were difficult, it was like, this is boring. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I just have...
Yeah.
So I think I might have just gotten a bad string of luck on that.
Do you also know that if you find all the treasures in the shrine, that there'll be a little treasure symbol next to the name? So if you ever go into a shrine and you beat the shrine and there's no little treasure symbol next to it, you didn't find all the treasures.
Oh, okay.
And finding all the treasures is just for your own purpose because a lot of times they just give you things that you can get somewhere else. There's really never anything crazy in them, but it's for your own like satisfaction of finding everything in a shrine.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Anyway, it seems like a fun game now.
Cool.
It does. I still think it kind of sucks that there's only like 4 divine beasts. Like, there's not a lot to do, but it's not. I thought it sucked last week, and now I think it's good. But I still wouldn't say it's great.
Right. Yeah. I understand. So, okay.
It's very beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Fascinating looking game.
Oh yeah. And like I said, for me, a lot of it got better as soon as I got the set of climbing gear.
Oh yeah, I got that.
You have all 3 of them?
I got the 3, and I have almost the full extra bar of stamina.
Oh, okay,
so you can like get around fast.
Yeah,
so
it makes
I'm
it
just
a lot
like
better.
running up the walls.
Better.
Yeah.
But you also beat the bird divine beast,
I beat the
right?
bird,
so you have the super jump as well, which helps a lot too. So okay, cool. Okay. Any case.
Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Peace out. Have a good night. And
wait.
Hang on a second. Before we even do that, remember, this weekend is Senkel Standoff.
Hey, yeah.
We will be there.
We will be there.
We'll be doing commentary for that, so definitely check that out.
We'll be doing Street Fighter and Marvel commentary, they said.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'm totally down for that.
Me too. MVCI?
Oh, I'm so hyped.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Do we get to do anything else? Do we get to do Dragon Ball? Do we get to do Tekken?
I don't think they have Tekken.
Okay.
I think they have Marvel, Street Fighter, Dragon Ball, and both Smash games.
Okay.
But Dragon Ball is on the same day as both Smash games, which we're not scheduled to be there on. Sunday.
Okay.
So we can stick around if you want, but I don't think we're scheduled to be there.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm totally, if they want us, to do
I assume they've ironed it out, but if not, then I would love to do it.
Okay, but definitely tune in for that. Keep an eye on our Twitters. We'll let you know what the stream information and all that stuff is when that comes up. But definitely check that out because that's going to be a lot of strong West Coast players out there.
Yeah. Expect people from all over the Calis. Various Calis. All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out and... The other song you were singing, I think, was one of my alarm sounds that you probably heard 7,000 times.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is Hell Pockets doing DBFC? That makes sense.